Very much, Honorable Chairperson. Welcome back, Honorable Commissioners. Now, we were discussing the payments made to Fatu Mbenga. For and on behalf of the Lord Mayoress, that's you. I have another voucher here. It is voucher number 1805. Voucher number 1805. Or better still, BCC PV 22001551. PV 22 001551. 001551. It is a payment of $100,000 is paid to by way of support to fire outbreak victims of Hagan and William Street.
Nena lolo ne kana halis budem be 100,000 te fire ambi dal sababi moy lolo ne kana fire victims. Si ñoñu ngeen fay halis bu.
Now, do you recall this payment?
Nena nda mun nga ko fataleku? Yes.
Wow. Wow, fataleku nako?
Yes, I do remember.
Yes, I will show you the vote. You raised that request through the assistant PRO of Fatu Mbenga.
Nena li funkoration moy assistant PRO.
Fatu Mbenga.
Fatu Mbenga. Yes, that's correct.
And the money was paid to her?
Nena halis be si mom nga ko fayon.
I don't know ndax mom lañ ko fay ndax we pay to the victims themselves. Why xam na ne halis bi land in the hands of victims.
Well, I don't, for the payment, I can't tell exactly where the payment was done, whether to Fatu Mbenga or to the victims directly. But all I'm assured is that the victims have got the monies. And even if the monies was paid through Fatu, Fatu have paid it to the victims.
Now, let me assist you with the voucher.
Mm-hmm.
There is a request for financing signed by the Chief Executive Officer.
I'm not request for financing signed by the CEO.
Yes. We have the request for support from the Chief Executive Officer via the Finance Director.
Then request be by Chief Executive and Finance Director.
Now, again, the check was in the name of Fatu Mbenga, $100,000.
Then I check be mom si turi Fatu Mbenga la neka, then check be moy $100,000.
Why does it have to be paid through to your office, through Fatu Mbenga?
Then a lot of halis be you for office si Fatu Mbenga.
I think I can vividly remember this fire disaster in Banjul. So, li tax bañ ko fay si Fatu Mbenga sax moy ne ñom the victim themselves ñom dafa fekk sen bagage yeb laka.
I think I can remember this exactly because the reason why it was paid to Fatu Mbenga is that the victims, it happens at that time, all their belongings were burnt out.
So amuñ ID card, amuñ anything.
They were without ID cards and they have nothing.
So ñu fay ko si Fatu.
Then we paid to Fatu.
But if I can remember.
But if I can fully remember.
I don't know whether biño joxe xaliss bi.
I can't know exactly whether when this money was being given out.
ñom ñoo ñëw ci council or ñun ñoo fa demoon.
Whether they came to council or we council went to them.
Why to just sum it up.
But to make it short, to sum it up.
Victims ci ñom ñu fi.
The victims are around.
Wow.
Yes.
What made them victims?
Then a land more time you make victims.
Do they the victims?
Yes.
I think picture bi natal bi mu fa.
We got the picture there. Right?
It shows one, do I say room or house or compound?
Nena nda negla wala kirla wala.
No, seen kër bi moo totally laka.
The compound
Moo laka yëpp.
all over get fire.
Now, was this a council's initiative or was it your initiative?
Nena li halati council la wala sa halat la.
Halati council la.
This is council's initiative
Because these things are budgeted for.
because they are budgeted for.
Now, then it should not have been paid to you then.
Nena kon dafa warton pour ñu fay ko ci yow.
Man lañ ko fay.
Was it paid to me?
Yes.
Yes.
Fatou Menga wrote on your behalf.
Fatu wrote on your behalf.
Waa
I
Fatou-
write on behalf of the mayor to request $100,000 as council support to the fire victims of Williams and Higgins Street.
Nena Fatu li la wate soko sété mom daf ko bind ci sa tur.
Well, Hedna is the language because Fatou Menga foog mu write on behalf of somebody requesting for it.
Yes, maybe it's the language because if she is to write, she need to write.
Fatou Menga mënut a bind ne I'm writing on my behalf moom boppam.
She cannot write on her own behalf. She have to write it on somebody's behalf.
That's why I said the payment was made to you.
Nena li moo tax moom tamit mu daal di la ne xaalis bi ci yow la ko lañ ko feyoon.
Waaye li council yu foog naa man tamit council general council bi laa fa toogal de.
Council, I think too, I was sitting there for the general council.
Waaye ba tey rek jàppal ne si man lañ ko fay waaye the money dem na si victims yi.
Yes, but still, I'll take it as it was paid to me. But
And I will appreciate pour
to
xam
make
next
it
time.
to make it clear or to make you sure that these
Signor-
monies were paid to the victims.
Dina appreciate tamit pour ma mun a jàng next time su fekkee ne request yu mel ni am na.
But too, I'll appreciate it as I am learning. If such a thing happens like this request,
So ku mel ni Fatou Menga
but like Fatou Mbenga,
su koy binda
if she is to write,
dafa binda ne I'm requesting on behalf of who.
she will write it directly that she is requesting on behalf of
The
who?
rules are clear in relation to payment,
Dina société affaire fay bi mom lu ay fategu de dafa leer.
and so council's initiative should be done in the name of council,
Council's initiative bi dafa wara do am
in the name of
ci turi council.
in accordance with the budget.
Dina so ko sété pour mu anda ak budget bi.
The problem here is with accountability.
Nena téxate bi fi nekka moy pour naka la ñoo léralé mbir mi.
If we give money, $100,000 to one individual
Nena suñ joté xaliss 100,000 ñu jox ko dugal ko ci loxo kena.
for the payment to victims,
Nena pour fay ñoo xamné dañu loru.
that becomes vague.
Nena lolu dafa vague trop.
And you can't account for the $100,000.
Nena té lolu kenn du ko mëna léral do ko mëna account.
That is the issue.
Nena lay moy mbir mi.
The council,
Lead council,
I totally agree with you.
I really totally agreed.
So ne waaye su fekkee ne dañ dem ba si cappaandaw li pour account ko.
But if you go to the Tavanda for accounting these monies,
It's as simple as ABC.
it's just simple as ABC.
Because wax naa la ne ñi ñu jox xaalis bi
As I said, the people which the monies was paid to,
ñoom ñu ngi fa.
they are all around.
So ñoom dinañ ñëw ñu testify wane ne ñoom lañ jox xaalis
They
bi.
can come and testify to show that these monies were paid to them.
Yes,
I will appreciate.
And I'll appreciate
So waxee ne xëj na the process dafa wrong.
if you say the process was wrong.
waruñ ko fay si man waruma ko waruma laajte xaalis bi.
I should not request for the said monies.
Again, this make me confused.
And again, definitely it makes me confused.
And it brings us back.
And it takes me back.
si li ma laa wax ne ana doole mayor bi.
As I said, where is the powers of the mayor?
So moo tax ma bëgg a xam léegi su fekkee ne ku mel ni Fatou Menga.
This is why I want to know, like, a such person like Fatou Mbenga.
am na Banjul. Fire am na Banjul.
There is
yàlla
fire
tere
on in Banjul,
ñu bëgg a support.
and we need to support.
léegi ki ko request si turi kan la ko request.
Now, if she is to request, or anybody to request, whose name is the request?
Do you think
belong
it's
to?
appropriate for the mayor or the mayoress to be requesting for money for donations directly, and then the money is paid to the mayor directly? Let's say $100,000 is on in several instances, and the mayor has the discretion as to how and who the money should be paid to. Do you think that is good accounting?
Then as I said, nenda foog nga ne loolu dafa war. Comme yow yaay mayor bi nga dal di bind request xaalis te xaalis bi buñ ko amee ñu dal di ko fay si yow pour yow tamit nga dal di taana ki nga war a jox xaalis bi pour mu dem fay victimes yi nee na foog nga ne loolu yoon la wala.
The council wax over and over again. This
As I said over and over again, Council,
Nella, I totally agree with you where the process is wrong.
that I totally agreed with you that the process was very wrong.
Dama appreciate pour nga wax ma ne ma lii mooy the right way.
I'll appreciate
Pour nga wax ma ne lii mooy the right way.
for you to tell me exactly the right way.
waaye wax naa la ba sonna ne la xaalis bi du man lañ koy del si baag ñëw jox ma ko.
But as I said clearly, that it doesn't mean that the monies were put in a bag and handed over to me.
waaye Fatou was requesting
But Fatu was requesting
to the
this
CEO
to the CEO
on behalf of the office of the mayor.
on behalf of my office.
And, and the money is paid to her.
Then I tell Harris bi si moom lañ ko fay tamit.
Wow, and I told you exactly.
Yes.
Okay, let's assume the xaalis bi moom lañ ko fay.
Yes.
And so if the
Let us-
money is paid to her, and she raised, and she raised the request on your behalf, it means the money is paid to you.
Nee na moom mi nga xam ne moo bind letter bi dal di ko request ne yow on your behalf la ko bindee suñ ko fayee xaalis bi lu mu wone mooy xaalis bi dafa mel ni ba léegi si yow lañ ko jox.
nangu naa.
Yes, I agree.
Exactly. That's why I said for wherever we see Fatou Mbengue, we see Rohey Malick Lowe.
loolu tam mu ne la Fatou Mbengue turam fu mu feeñ rek dafa mel ni sa tur moo fa feeñ.
waaye what is more important pour man mooy ne.
But the most important for me is that
xaalis bi li tax ñu request ko.
the reason why these monies were requested,
egg na foofu.
the monies have landed
te
there,
ñooñu ñu ngi fii.
and those are here.
they can testify on that
They
behalf.
can testify.
so lu ma agree mooy ne.
What I agree is that
soo ma ne ma process bi ni ngeen ko defee dafa wrong.
if you tell me the process was wrong,
waaye I cannot agree ne xaalis bi dafa dugg si biir baagi Rohey Malick Lowe.
but I will not agree that the monies was taken or put in a bag of.
Let me tell you what
Malick Lowe.
my independent opinion will be.
Nee na léegi mu wax la moom xalaatam bi moom si boppam mooy lan.
If you ask me, Patrick Gomez,
Nee na soo ko ne Patrick Gomez.
aside from this work,
Nee na sunu liggéey bi.
whether I will want to say the money has gone to your pocket,
Nee na soo ko ne ndax xaalis bi demut si poosam bi.
I may say no.
moom dina ne déet.
I may say I don't believe it.
moom dina ne gëmu ko.
I may say I believe that you are worth more than this.
moo ne moo nga gis ne moom lu moo passé na loolu.
That will be my independent subject opinion.
Nee na loolu nekk na xalaati boppam.
If you ask someone else,
Nee na soo laajtee keneen.
they may say it has gone into your pocket.
mu ne waaye ñoom dinañ ne xaalis bi de moom dugal na ko si poosam.
That may be their opinion.
Nee na waaye loolu seen xalaat la.
lii council.
Not, let me just learn.
Nee na xaaral mu jeexal kàddu.
But for the purpose of the inquiry,
Nee na waaye soo seetee pour mbiri inquiry pour leeral mbir mi.
the reason why there has to be adherence to procedure
Nee na soo seetee wala soo gisee ne mbir mi dafa war a wala da ngeen war a toppa yoon bi.
is to clear that doubt.
Nee na pour nga gis ne lépp dafa war a leer.
The idea that someone may have taken the money or not for their own personal gains
Nee na xalaat bi nga xam ne nit ñi mun nañu ko xalaat ne kii de xaalis bi daf ko jël pour moom soxlaam.
would be cleared.
loolu dina leeral.
And that is the reason why it should follow the normal channel.
Nee na lii moo tax yoon bi nga xam ne dafa tegu boobu ngeen war a toppa.
Because Fatou Mbengue testified.
because Fatou Mbengue moom wax na ba pare.
If I recall her testimony very well,
Nee na su fekkee ne mun naa fàttaliku kàddu am yi.
she states that when she withdraws this monies,
Nee na bu jëlee xaalis bi.
the manner in which it's supposed to be spent,
Nee na yoon bi nga xam ne noonu la ko war a dépenser.
whether it's supposed to be given to Amadou or Pate or Deba based on the need,
Nee na comme dafa war a jot ndax dafa war a jot dem ba paate comme soxla bi mu wees mu
the instructions are directly from the mayoress.
Nee na instruction boobu kàddu yooyu yëpp si yow la jógee.
Is that true?
Nee na ndax loolu dëgg la wala du dëgg.
waaye lii council foog naa wax naa la from the beginning ne la foog mu am kenn kuy jël responsibility Fatou foog mu am koo xam ne moo ko yónni ne ko defal lii.
As I said earlier on, there must be someone to take this responsibility because Fatou Mbengue must say that he was sent by someone, and I think that
foog naa loolu establish nañ ko ba pare.
that have been established here already.
That's true.
I have never shy away.
I have never.
Shy away.
And you have never tried away.
pour wax la ne ma instruct Fatou Mbengue.
To say she instructed Fatou Mbengue.
pour wax ko ne ko kër gi am nañ fire outbreak.
To say to her that this compound have a fire outbreak.
Right to the CEO.
Right to the CEO.
pour wax ne dañ leen di dimbale si lii ak lii.
To say we are writing this and this.
so man itamit suma doole mooy.
My powers there is.
pour wane ne xaalis bi egg na foofu.
To see to it that these monies have reached them.
and I can testify here ne.
And here I can testify that.
ñi jox xaalis bi.
The people whom the monies was given to.
ñu ngi fi dara jotut leen.
They are here, nothing wrong with them.
one thing I can agree.
One thing That I can agree.
You said ne Fatou Menga process biñ jëlé xaliss bi dafa wrong.
You said the way the money was given to Fatou Mbenga was wrong.
I can agree with you.
I can agree with you.
So lolu mom
For that,
mën na la ko nangul.
I will agree.
Why xaliss bi jaarul fende.
While the money does not go to anywhere.
Fim joggé ci Fatou Menga.
From Fatou Mbenga,
Li tax xaliss bi jog.
the reason why this money was raised,
Li ci gëna neex moy witness ya ngi dunda dara jotut leen.
and the only thing that makes it simpler is that, or easier, is that the witnesses are still alive.
Now I go to the next voucher.
Then I need them to voucher.
22001-245.
22001-225.
245.
245.
So disbursement as cash impress allocation for condolence package of 2 deceased Banjulian wrestlers and feeding for the Rohey Malick Lowe dropper. I find it difficult to dropper. I'm not a big fan of wrestling, Lord Mayoress. That is why. I focus on football more. But that's why I can't pronounce this perhaps. So, again, what is this payment for?
Culture.
This is for, or this was for culture.
And until today. So,
this is how we normally go ahead with it. Nothing have changed.
So need ganyo cancel.
For instance, if somebody died,
check.
We will write a check
Pour jalela.
To go and make the condolence.
So ame kom bode yi ak yenen activity yo xamne it has to do with sports.
If we have like wrestling or other activities that can go with sports,
ben tay dinañ len sponsor.
Still we do sponsor them.
The amount, these are all budgeted amounts.
These are all budgeted monies.
Okay, it's $20,000 of 2 different payments. 2 deceased Banjulians, $10,000 and the wrestlers $10,000 and feeding $3,000. So again, payments not to be made in your name.
Fukki junni bi dem na si ñoo xam ne victimes yi yeneen fukki junni mu dem si activities yi nga xam ne dafa amoon su sports nee na waaye ba léegi de lu war mooy fee wi waruñ koo def si sa tur.
Payment should be in council's name.
nee na fee wi dafa war a nekk si turi council.
Council have a budget.
nee na council am na budget.
They have an account.
am nañ account.
They have secretaries to the account.
am nañ ñoo xam ne ñooy secretary to the account.
It should be BCC's contribution.
Nena lolu wana neka BCC contribution.
Not money given to you and you give the money.
Wata neka halis bi nga xamne dañ la ko jox yow nga dal di ko joxe.
Do you understand that?
Do you understand and lolu leer na ci yow?
Wa lead council?
Yes, lead council.
Amna I don't know whether council legi dafa wara jël responsibility am kon.
And I don't know whether council now can get his own responsibility. And there must be someone doing it.
Because if
for instance, if there is an event like wrestling,
you invite the Banjul City Council.
And the Banjul City Council have been invited.
Mayor be
The mayor need to attend.
Banjul City Council.
And he need to give a present from Banjul City Council.
So how
For that, I don't know how will it
because
be like. Then we need to choose someone who
responsibility put them
have to take the responsibility to go and do that.
But you told us that this is a CEO. You said to us that the CEO is the most powerful.
The
CEO can do it.
Why CEO role
But the role of the CEO
is not to put them represent a council.
It's not for him to go and represent council.
Who says that? Where is that written?
Okay, that is my understanding.
That is my understanding.
So independent ame.
When there is an independent.
Then this is why I said the system is then everything is wrong.
This is why I first said that the system.
I don't know why they're writing to me then when there is independent, they mayor you need to represent Banjul.
Then I don't know why they normally write to me to say, well, you are invited to represent Banjul.
So in future they need to write to the CEO and work on represent Banjul.
And they should write to the CEO to say he is the one to represent Banjul.
You are mixing two different things.
You
You are the head of Banjul City Council.
nee na yow yaay boppi Banjul City Council wala njiiti Banjul City Council.
Talib Ahmed Bensouda is the head of KMC.
nee na Bensouda mooy head of KMC.
And it goes on all the way to Basse.
nee na nii la demee ba Basse.
You are elected by the people.
nee na yow nii ñoo la tànn.
People choose to have you as their mayoress.
yow lañ tànn pour nga nekk seen mayoress.
And all the 8 area councils.
nee na 8 area council bi yëpp noonu la.
You are the head.
nee na yow yaay njiit.
But that does not mean
nee na waaye loolu nekkut ne.
that there would not be segregation of duties.
nee na foofu nekkut ne there will be no segregation of duties.
Because we need to know the people.
nee na ñun dañu war a xam people yi wala nit ñi ñoo xam ne.
where every dalasi is going to.
xaalis bi dalasi bu nekk fa mu dugga.
So we give power to the CEO.
nee na joxe nañ doole CEO.
And we limit it with the other hand.
nee na te ñu doole ko wàññee ko si beneen yoon.
We give power to the finance director.
ñu jox power doole si finance director.
With the other hand.
ñu del di ko wàññee si beneen loxo.
Give power to the mayor.
ñu joxe doole mayor.
with limitations.
te yooyu tamit am na ay loo xam ne dañ ko wàññi.
Give power to council.
joxe council doole.
with limitations.
ñu daal di ko évaluer.
So that at the end of the year.
da nga gis ne si at bi jeexee.
the people will know the taxes that are collected from them.
nee na booba nit ñi dañoo xam lempo bi nga xam ne jootu ngeen ko seen loxo.
the levies, the dues, the monies of council.
lépp li nga xam ne fee nañ ko ak xaalis council.
how it has been plowed back to council.
nee na naka la loolu delloowee si council.
that is separation of powers.
nee na loolu mooy pour nga gis ne ngeen mën a séddale doole.
for checks and balances.
pour check and balances.
that's why you have audit.
lii moo tax ñu dal di am lu ñuy wax audit.
internal audit.
internal audit.
should be able to tell you or the council or the CEO, no, you cannot do this.
ñoo la war a wax yow sa boppa council wala CEO ne lii doo ko mën a def.
you should be able to tell the CEO, you cannot do this.
yow tamit am nga wargal pour wax CEO bi lii doo ko mën a def.
internal audit, external audit should be able to tell you guys, you have done all of this over the years, X, Y, Z is wrong.
nee na te external audit tamit mun nañ la wax ne lii ak lii def nga ko woon at yu bëri waaye lii àndut ak yoon.
but maybe they have been doing that.
nee na waaye yéen a ngi di def loolu.
There are audit reports.
am nañ audit report.
They have flagged all this.
des flags wone nañ loolu yëpp.
Do you guys review these audit reports?
nee na ndax audit reports yi da ngeen ko dee toppa di ko review.
Li council.
lead council.
foog naa ñun ñëpp benn wax bi la ñoo wax.
I think we are all saying the same thing.
man lu ma wax fii mooy the function of the mayor.
What I'm telling here is the function of the mayor.
because dañ doon wax affaire yu bëri.
We were talking about Rasulin.
nga ne ma CEO bi waroon naa mun a dem.
You inform or you tell me that the CEO can be able to represent.
man foofu lay waxee.
That is where I'm talking about.
ne kon su fekkee ne mayor bi moom.
That if at all, then the mayor.
su boori amee ñu ne mayor bi lañ invite.
Then they invite the mayor.
because man lu ma foog mooy ne.
What I think was that.
mayor bi should be the face comme ni nga ko waxee of the council.
Mayor would be the face of council.
social activities yi nga xam ne moo dee am.
All the social activities that do happen.
mayor bi su munta dem.
If the mayor cannot represent.
the deputy mayor should be there.
The deputy mayor must be present.
so man suma understanding mooy ne.
To my understanding is that.
the CEO.
The CEO.
dealt purely
with
administration.
Man
loolu lay wax.
That is what I'm saying.
No, if they invite the mayoress.
If they invite, then as soon as invite,
or they invite the chairman.
Well, you invite chairman.
Or the mayor. Then you take your own money.
Then that's
my point.
If you
want to invite me in my individual capacity,
then invite as mom si bopam.
I dip in my pocket and then go with from my own coffers.
But
if it is in councils, from council's coffers, it has to come from the usual way. If they write for donations and they channel it through your office, some people do not know. Genuinely, they don't know. So it's okay to write it through your office. Forward it to the CEO's office. They take action in accordance with the budget. If checks are raised, they are raised in the name of the recipient. So it is BCC given directly to Mr. X. It would not be Rohey Malick Lowe given to Mr. X. That is the issue.
agree na.
I agree.
Why luma wax moy memo bi nga wax nonu.
What I'm telling is that the memo that you are talking about,
Man suma understanding.
my understanding is that
Of Rohey Malick Lowe.
Of Rohey Malick Lowe.
And Rohey Malick Lowe as the Lord Mayor of Banjul.
And Rohey Malick Lowe as the Mayoress of Banjul.
It's two different things.
It's a different two
Parce que
different.
when
I'm invited for an
ceremony.
Or I'm invited for a wedding.
From the cover of Banjul.
That is not. I don't take it from the cover of Banjul.
Why so the wrestlers in Banjul?
But if at all it is the wrestlers in Banjul.
Or football in Banjul.
Or football happen in Banjul.
You've been the Lord Mayor of Banjul.
And I am written as the Mayoress of Banjul.
Man suma understanding moine.
My understanding there is that
they are talking directly to the council.
They are talking directly to council.
And not as Rohey Malick Lowe.
And not as Rohey Malick Lowe.
No. Man, lolo mo is my understanding.
That is my understanding.
It cannot be that way.
Okay.
Because even please proceed.
Nangutona linga wasahli.
I agree to what you are saying.
Understanding.
I am just telling you my understanding where it has.
Because I was a councillor in Sweden.
Because I was a councillor in Sweden.
So ningde differentiate sun individual businesses.
The way we differentiate our individual businesses.
Swing council businesses.
And the council business.
Whereas swing babinde letter man.
Whereas if I am written the letter.
You address ko si council.
And it is addressed to council.
You def for Rohey Malick Lowe.
And it is written as Rohey Malick Lowe.
The council then ko resend to my private address.
The council will resend it to my private address.
Why swing councillor Rohey Malick Lowe?
But if they say councillor Rohey Malick Lowe.
It's purely the council.
It's purely for council.
So now I'm a little bit confused again.
Now I'm a little bit confused.
How to differentiate Rohey Malick Lowe?
How to differentiate Rohey Malick Lowe?
And Rohey Malick Lowe as the mayor of Banjul.
As Rohey Malick Lowe as the mayor of Banjul.
Because so gise my lead council.
The reason why I'm telling you that council.
It's not even particularly only about the memo B.
It's not particularly about this memo.
I will tell you a particular case.
I will just tell you a scenario.
A particular case.
A particular case.
When Mayobo court say attestation say.
When I went to court for attestation.
And you am the bill pour fayko.
And we have the bill to pay.
Auditors silenko flank.
The auditors have flattened it out.
Because then the council waru ko fay.
They say that council shouldn't pay.
Manelen why Lord Mayor of Banjul la ñobu court de.
But I told them that it is the Lord Mayor of Banjul who was taken to court.
Because there are other Rohey Malick Lowe yi nga xamne ñu ngi tok seen kër yi.
The other Rohey Malick Lowe who they are staying in their homes.
Ñooñu suñu yóbbu court.
When they are taken to court.
Si seen private accounts dañ ko dé jëlé jé.
They deal with their private accounts.
But they still flank it ne déedéet man mako wara fayal suma bopa. Nekku ne council mako wara fay.
They still said no, I have to pay it for myself, not council.
So for every payment, the commissioners will decide whether it was right that payments were done by council. When the request is written in your name or not. So it's a case-by-case basis. Here, the number one, this wrestling is in Senegal. Is it correct? Correct?
Yes, but
Serer organization
it's a Serer organization that is in the country.
They are Gambians.
They are Gambians.
Def Buribi.
They are the people who organize the wrestling.
Organized. It was supposed to be home and away.
They organized this wrestling and it's supposed to be home and away.
So we started Senegal.
But it started in Senegal.
Yes. So it is in Senegal.
In our Senegal now.
And number one, because it's in Senegal,
then
I don't see the relevance or the need that we will commit our funds all the way.
Then relevance
to beneficiaries in Senegal. And number two, for this wrestling, you are the person named after this drapo. So council would have had far more pressing issues. And I don't know how you interpret pressing in Wolof. Far more pressing issues, far more important issues than taking money to Senegal. For wrestling. Do you not think so?
Wow, lead council.
Yes, lead council.
Dafa mel ni nga wax ma ne exchanges yi ñu def for example.
For instance, I think you're telling me about the exchanges that they normally do.
Am nañ partnership ak Dakar, for example.
We have partnership in Dakar, for instance.
So Senegalese yi ñëw nañ fi seet si ñu.
Senegalese, they came here to visit us.
And ñun tamit dañ war a dem seeti leen.
And for us too, we need to pay back the visit.
So fooguma ne ñoom seen ñëw bi fii.
I don't think they are coming here.
Comme dañ ko gisee comme yàq xaalis la.
They saw it as spoil money.
So ñun tam suñ dem bi foofu.
But I want to go in there too.
Partnership boobu gisewuma ko comme ne yàq xaalis la.
In that partnership, I don't see it as just using money in vain.
Su fekkee ne suñ mbokki séeréer yi ñoom tam.
If at all our relatives, the Syrians,
am nañ seen culture.
they have their culture.
ñu feel ne dem ak ñëw la.
And they feel that it is going and coming.
ñu dooree fële.
And they started there.
mujjee fii.
And lastly here.
Today drapeau bi Rohey Malick Lowe.
And they name the flag or the drapeau as Malick Lowe.
su ma nekkutoon mayor fooguma dinañ ma ko tuddee de.
I don't think if I am not the mayor, they will name it after me.
soo gisee ñu jox ma cër boobu.
The reason why they gave me that.
Because ñi organise programme bi.
The people who organize this said program.
ay séeréer yu dëkk Banjul lañ.
They are Syrians who are living in Banjul.
so ñu gis cër bi.
They see the way.
ñu ne xaaral ñu jox ko.
They see the what?
They see the honor. The honor.
ñu ne xaaral ñu jox ko
Now
mayor bi.
they choose to say, let us give it to the mayor.
That's my point.
That's my point.
That public officers should be very mindful to separate their interest, personal interest, from public interest.
Nena soko sété lolu dafa nek lo xamné dafa am fayda trop parce que société yeen sen interest bi ak public interest bi dafa wara outé dafa wara nek bena.
It's a thin line.
Nena thin line la de.
It has to be observed.
Nena war nga ko bay xel bu baax.
We have health care issues.
Nena am nañ ay health care issues.
For all the area councils.
Yep, si area council.
We have area councils in the Gambia have the responsibility, if you look at the act, the responsibility to invest back to the people, you know.
Nena te soko sété ci acte bi nena am na responsible wala wargal bi nga am ne joxe nañ ko pour nga gis ne naka lañu ki ak doomi adama yi moy mbolo education, healthcare, agriculture,
you name it.
Nena yu bari la.
So that's why I said there are more pressing issues.
Nena li mota mu ngi wax ne amna ay pressing issues.
More important issues.
Yo xamne da amna yo xamne important issues la.
So that when they even bring some of these things.
Nena suñu fisi comme suñu ici façon yi.
You even tell the CEO we don't have money for this.
Nena nga wax leen ne ñun amuñ xaalis pour li.
Our hospitals are suffering.
Ñun suñu lopitaan yi sax ñu ngi manqué.
Our schools are suffering.
Suñu school yëpp ñu ngi suffer.
Our roads are not very much intact.
Suñu yoon yi baaxuñ.
I'm just giving examples.
Nena sample lam lay wax ni.
So that the monies we collect from the people on a daily basis.
Nena da nga gis ne xaalis bi nga xam ne dañ ko day jot si loxo nit ñi bés bu nekk.
We plan to have it back.
Nena dañ leen war a delloo back si ñoom.
li nga wax ni yëpp dëgg la.
Council, whatever you are saying is true.
te ndax am ñu ngi ci de.
And we are still of it.
dafa fekk ne bii tamit dafa am a budget line.
And it happens that we too have a budget line.
nekkut ne dañ jël xaalis bi rek di ko pasasee.
It doesn't mean that we take the monies and use it like how we want it.
te li nga wax ne mënoon nañu wax CEO bi ne ko bii warut a nekk.
And as you said, we should advise the CEO that this should not happen.
su ma la waxee ne 100 of these applications yëpp dañ ko turn off.
And if I tell you, we have turned off a lot of applications, hundreds of applications.
waaye for now pour ñu embrace tamit suñ culture bi.
But I know for us to embrace our culture.
loolu tamit is baax na pour council man si nu ma ko gisee.
And for my own scene, that is important or good for council.
because soo seetee the sustainable development goals.
If you see or read or check the sustainable development goals.
ñun local government yi nekk si àdduna bi yëpp.
And the local governments for the whole world.
ñu ngi advocate pour loolu.
They are advocating that.
ñu ngi push pour loolu.
They are pushing it.
And at the center of that document.
And the center of that document.
the importance of culture si la nekk.
The importance of culture are therein.
So luñ mënuñoo wax ne dañoo concentrate ci lopitaan rek.
We can't say we are only concentrating on hospitals.
Or dañoo concentrate ci schools yi.
Or only concentrate on education.
This is my opinion.
This is my own opinion.
Ne sport.
That sports.
Culture.
Daf
dey indi peace.
They used to bring peace.
So bobu tamit lu bon.
And for that, however the case may be,
ñuy ko dee gestu.
we need to look out on them.
Man nak I'm a fan of the SDGs.
I am a fan of the.
Motax dama bëgg disagree ak yow fofu.
A fan of.
The SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals.
Very well, SDGs.
This money is going to Senegal. This money is going to Senegal.
Then xaalis bi mu ngi dem Senegal.
Wow, you know, we are not looking at the lenses of
Senegal.
Yes,
we are not taking it or seeing it as these monies are given to the Senegal or going to Senegal.
But that's what it says.
But then that's what
it says.
I
agree that the activities occurred in Senegal.
Why bear in mind
But bear in mind those people too, they are coming here or they have came here.
So ñom tam Senegalese amna a lot of activities yo xamne fi lañ ko dé indi diko fi def.
And a lot those Senegalese, it happens that a lot of activities they used to bring them and do it in the Gambia.
Who do you think they will say gave them this money?
Nena ko fokk ki nga xamne koku la ñu wax ne mo leen jox xaliss bu.
They wrote to you.
Nena dañ la bindon ci yow.
Because they see you.
Nena yow lañ gis.
As being someone who can help them.
Ki nga xamne nekka nga ko xamne mënu nga la jappalé.
Perhaps they don't know.
I
might have done the same if I don't know. Then you give them money directly from you. Who do they think?
I want to tell you that this activity, it doesn't find me in the Gambia.
Yes.
Yes.
So
they know.
Council mo len jox xaliss.
This council who gave them the monies.
No.
No. Did?
For the monies received by Fatou Mbenga.
Nena Fatou Mbenga xaliss bi nga xamne jot nako.
Are given in your name.
Nena joy nañ ko ci sa tour.
Because remember, when they write to you,
nga fatale ko buñ la bindon.
They didn't write to council.
Nena binduñ council.
They wrote to you.
De yow lañ binda.
So address bi lan la, please, if I
What was the address? Or address is what?
They wrote to, they will normally write to, or the PRO will write to the CEO requesting for money for you.
No, letter bi li trigger lo lay wax ñi bind letter bi.
The people who wrote this letter.
For some, we don't even see the correspondence from these people, from the people requesting.
I
can give it to you. We have the one for $20,000 is from the Assistant Public Relations Officer to the Chief Executive Officer. All it says from the Assistant Public Relations Officer.
Assistant Public Relations Officer.
To the Chief Executive Officer.
Chief Executive Officer.
All it says is I write on behalf of the mayor to request for the following. Do you understand? Do you understand?
Understand?
Yes, I do.
I can tell you, ne.
The one, let me just assist you. You asked a very important question. The $100,000 is as well for the victims of Hagan and William Street. We only Hagan Street. And William Street. The request is what we see. From Assistant Public Relations Officer.
Public Relations Officer.
To CEO.
To CEO.
I write on behalf of the mayor.
Writing on behalf of the mayor.
Request for $100,000.
For a request of $100,000.
I do not see a letter emanating from the people's or the organization seeking donation. We have again a memo from from Fatumenga, Assistant Public Relations Officer.
am nañ tamit memo bu jógee ci Fatou Mbenga, Assistant Public Relations Officer.
Addressed to the Chief Executive Officer.
Te buñ ko bindee ci turi Chief Executive Officer.
I write on behalf of the mayor to request for the following payment.
Nena lu mu bind foofu mooy mu ngi bind ci sa tur pour laajte
$30,000
bu demee fanweeri junni
for media consultancy.
pour media consultancy.
So, again, no letter from the media or the people that are requesting.
Nena waaye ba léegi gisuñ fa letter bi nga xam ne jógee na ko ci media wala ci ñooy xam ne ñooy nekk di laajte xaalis.
When we treat the other vouchers,
Nena soo ñu seetee yeneen voucher yi tamit.
if I see any, I will let you know.
Nena su gisee beneen moom dinaa la ko yëgal.
You can also have access to the vouchers.
Nena pour nga gis ne ñu mën a am accès ci voucher yi.
And assist us as well.
Nena pour nga jàppale ñu ci kaw loolu.
But this is the thing. When we asked Fatou Mbenga,
Nena waaye mbir mi mooy bu ñu laajtee Fatou Mbenga.
how do you know that you are supposed to pay $30,000 to tourists?
Nena yow naka nga xamee ne da nga war a fay 30,000 to.
She will just say that most of the times I'm just instructed by the mayor to pay this amount.
waaye moom la wax mooy waxtu bu nekk wala waxtu néew yow yaa ko de instruct pour mu fay xaalis boobu.
Even for catering.
Nena si catering bi sax.
How do you know that you are supposed to pay this amount to XYZ catering services?
Nena nu ko laajte naka nga xamee ne yow da nga war a fay xaalis si catering services yi.
This amount, this particular amount.
mooy ana njëgi bi nga war a fay.
The answer will usually be,
Nena tontuwam bi nu mu dee nekk mooy.
I'm just directed by the Lord Mayor to pay this amount.
yow Lord Mayor bi moo ko dee wax pour mu fay xaalis boobu wala njëgi boobu.
So that is where the problem is.
Nena foofu mooy problème bi.
Do you understand?
Nena understand nga loolu. Yes, very well.
Do you know whether you have been overpaying or underpaying?
Nena léegi fay boobu ndaa yow sa boppa yëg nga ne ndaa li nga fay dafa ëpp wala dafa doy dafa tuuti.
As per the market value?
Nena soo ko seetee si mbiri market bi marché bi.
No.
No.
Do you think that is important?
Nena foog nga ne loolu dafa am fayda.
Si media bi.
To the media?
Whether it is media or for services or for goods.
Media la wala services of goods.
Do you not think it's important to know the market price before you pay? You may be overpaying. Like you've asked the question, or you've said that the money does not go into your pocket. And I said, individually, I may believe you. Someone else may not. But then, do you even know? Another issue is, do you even know whether you are overpaying or you are underpaying?
Nena laajte bi mooy xaalis bi nga fay ndax xam nga ko ndax si marché bi check nga si marché bi wala xaalis bi ngay fay dafa ëpp wala doyut. Parce que wax nga ko fii ba moom sa boppam mu dal di la ne yow pour xaalis bi wàlloo fee xaalis si sa tur.
foog naa su ñëwee si media bi.
For the media.
mun nañoo xam exactly ñaata lañ leen di fay.
We normally know how much we supposed to pay.
So boobu dañ de mun a xam ne ñii suñ demee si ñoom lii la ñoo fay.
For them, we normally know or knew that whenever we go to them, this is the amount we supposed to pay.
How do you know that?
Nena naka nga ko xamee.
Because yàgg nañ di def ak ñoom.
Because we've been dealing with them for long.
So ku nekk xam ne
who are you referring to when you say you have been dealing with them quite often?
Nena soo ne dañoo jëfandikoo nena kan la ñan la ñooñu.
Council.
Who in council?
Nena council.
PRO bi mu fa woon mu tamit baa fa woon.
PRO was there.
So ñii ñoo dee handle affaire yi journalists yi.
These are the people who used to handle the journalist affairs.
So ñun xam nañ journalists yoo xam ne they are very expensive soo leen ooyee.
We know some of the journalists who are very expensive when you call them.
ak ñoo xam ne seeruñ.
And those who are not very expensive, those who are cheap.
So when you paid, please proceed.
So loolu dañ ko dee mën a xam.
We do know that.
Suñ amee catering.
When we happen to have catering.
The same thing.
The same thing.
am na for example bi the mayor of Miami ñëwee.
For instance, when we had the mayor of Miami.
ak the mayor of Austin bi mu ñëwee.
And the mayor from Austin.
laajte woon nañ different nit seen catering si.
We ask about different people for their own caterings.
And it was very, very expensive.
And it was very expensive.
We have society si arch bi. si bi ñoo def suñ programme bi si aj bi.
When we did,
Mayor of Miami ñëwee.
we were doing our program at the Aj when we had that mayor from Miami.
Catering bi waroon nañoo cost about 480,000.
The catering supposed to cost us 480,000.
How do you know this?
Because they laajte around, we were catering for 600 people.
We asked because we were catering for 600 people.
How did you know all this?
Nena naka nga xamé li yépp?
Because because bi ñoo programme bi ñu ko def yépp man mang ci di.
I know because all the programs where we
ñaata nit la ñoo invite.
How many people are we inviting?
ñaata nit la ñoo invite.
How many
ñaata nit la mayor bi àndal.
How many people come along with the mayor?
Of course, because he was my guest.
Yes, because of they are our guests or my guests.
So gis nañ ne we need about 600 to invite all the hunting groups ak yooyu yépp ñu ñëw.
So we see today that we have 600 so that we can invite all these hunting groups for them to come.
ñu xam ne loolu mun amuñ that capacity.
We knew at the time we don't have that capacity.
How do you know you don't have the capacity?
Nena naka nga xamé won ne am leen capacity?
Lead council.
Lead council.
Wax naa la ko man la Banjul City Council nekkut financial muscle la mi.
I know, as I told you, Banjul City Council is not financially strong.
You know, I am asking all this, how do you know? Because I see that you are doing a job that is designated or that is assigned by law to other units.
Because this nane lui feñ fi def nga liggéey yo xamné soko sété ci loi bi mom daf ko assign ci other units.
You understand what I mean by how do you know?
Nena xam nga li moy laajte lu tax naka nga ko yégué. Pour
xam lu nekk ci account Banjul City Council lolu waruma ko xam man.
No, not that part.
Nena dédé du fofu.
That came from you.
Nena lolu ci yow la jógé.
But again, for instance, how do you know that the most reasonable price
naka nga xamé moy njëg bu nga xamné mo jëna yomba
for a media coverage is $30,000.
Moy $30,000.
No, I never said the minimum price is 30,000. Lead council, you have to appreciate that we are working as a team. Pour mayor bi xam lan la for example Fatu Network di charge.
For mayor to know exactly how much Fatu Network do charge.
Lolu nak diga ayut nak.
For that, I don't think that is forbidden.
No, I'm not. Go ahead.
We work as a team.
We work as a team.
Suma guest mo nekk di ñëw.
Is my guest coming?
Dina ñëw ne ma laajte nañ.
Your guest as in you, Rohey Malick Lowe, or your guest as in council's guest through her worship Rohey Malick Lowe?
Nena nda lolu sa gan la yow Malick Lowe sa bopa wala dafa nekk gan boo xam ne council's Malick Lowe's guest.
Li council. Foog naa di president of Senegal suy ñëw fii wax dëgg yàlla ñu ne xaj loo ko bañ bàyyi ko buñam yu weex xanaa di nga mën a nangu ne gani president bi la.
For example, if a president of Senegal is coming to this country, yes, it's true. They say, however you hate a dog, but you have to support it that it have a white
Let me
teeth.
bring you back. Context matters.
Context la.
This is an investigation.
Need investigation.
So when I say mine,
suma boss,
in general terms can mean so many things. Like you said. Exactly. So for the purpose of investigation, I want to know what you mean. And again, let me just quickly jump into why it is important for me to ask you how you know or you knew that $30,000 would be a reasonable amount.
Reasonable amount.
Because you may think genuinely, for instance, Fatu Network will cost $30,000 for a certain program.
Fatu Network will cost $30,000 for a certain program.
Kir Fatu may cost so and so for a certain program. This goes on West Coast Radio for all the other media outlets. But that may be on the high side based on your own findings. There is a procurement department.
I'm not procurement department.
The procurement unit is taxed to do that. Do you know this?
nee na xam nga loolu.
loolu laa la wax ne lii council xaw ma ñana ko doon def de ndax procurement ñoo ko def ndax CEO bi la.
That is
ndax
what,
PRO bi
that is
waaye
what
at
I'm
the end of the
telling.
day.
I tell you, I can't remember exactly or know
Loolu laa la
exactly who
wax
did
ne
it.
yàgg
Were
nañoo-
procurement or, but I tell you, this was a long time we were dealing with them.
yàgg nañoo def ak media houses yi.
We were calling the media houses for a long time.
so mun naa point ne la kii dafa seer o kii dafa yomba.
There I can be able to point you to say this man is the cheapest
Again,
for.
that's not how council works.
nee na ba léegi de nekkut ne loolu mooy seen yoon bi
That's
ngeen
not
war
how
a
it's
dox.
supposed to work.
nee na noonu nekkut ne noonu la war a doxee.
So, for instance, when you need a media coverage
nee na léegi for example yow soo soxlee media coverage
for council's program,
pour programme council
you write,
da ngaa binda.
and then they will channel it through the normal procurement process.
nee na te noonu nu ñu ko yóbbee mooy si normal channel bi nga xam ne loolu moo war.
If you give, let me just give you an example. If you give this to tourist media consultancy,
nee na léegi mu jël exemple lii soo ko joxee tourist media consultancy.
who decided that tourist media consultancy should be consulted?
nee na kan moo njëkk a sax
contracted.
kan moo la xelal ne kooku da ngeen ko war a contact wala jox ko
Who
contract
made the
bi.
decision?
nee na kan moo am xalaat boobu wala kan moo isi xalaat boobu.
foog naa dama la indiwaat baag si li ma la wax ma ne la.
I think I will take you back as I told you before that.
yàgg nañoo liggéey ak ñoom ñëpp.
We've been working with them for a long time.
xam nañ lead council lu mu woot.
They know what council work.
xam nañ kële lu mu woot.
And we know the other what we
xam nañ
work.
ñoom ñëpp ku nekk lu mu woot.
And we all know all
ba
of
pare
them
xam
what they
nañ ku
work.
nekk loo ñu mën a defal.
And we know all of them, each of them what
Now,
he's
who made
supposed
this
to do for
decision?
us. Now, kan moo nee na kan
Instance,
moo
tourist media consultancy in this case, who contracted them?
nee na
Who?
kan moo def xalaat boobu kan moo leen jox contract with Touré Media Consultancy.
kan moo leen jox contract.
Wow.
Yes.
I cannot remember waaye su la Fatou Menga waxee ne man maa ko wax.
I cannot remember, but if Fatou Menga tell you that, I told her,
I take full responsibility of that.
I'll take responsibility.
That's what she said.
nee na kooku moom loolu la wax.
For most of our evidence, the instructions came from the Lord Mayor.
nee na am na yoo xam ne yu bëri yi nga xam ne moom wax na ko ne instructions bi si yow la
And
jógee.
if it is from you,
nee na te su jógee si yow.
how did you not rule out other potential media outlets who should have had equal opportunity?
nee na foofa ndaa yow sa boppa xalaat loo wala gëstuloo ñeneen ñi nga xam ne media ñeneen ñi nga xam ne ñoom itamit war nañ bokk si opportunité bi.
How ma naka lañ ñëwee to the conclusion of media A or media B.
I don't know how they end or they came to the conclusion of media A or B,
but be rest assured ne.
but the rest assured me that
aw ma benn interest bu tax ma pinpoint ko ne ko kii.
I have no interest to pinpoint like let's
so there must be fuñ dañoo drive am fuñ drive fee ba egga foofu.
Then we must drive up to a place where we stopped.
But following which rules?
nee na ban rule ngeen toppa wala ban yéen ngeen jël.
mooy li ma la wax rek li council ma ne la yàgg nañu liggéey ñoom ku nekk xam nañ sa woot.
As I said earlier on, we used to hire them for a long time and we know their worth.
So you have your own rules
nee na
that is different from the procurement rules?
kon dafa mel ni yow da nga am sa own rules yi nga xam ne àndut ak wala bokkut ak rules yi procurement.
aw ma benn rules wax naa la ma ne la.
I have no rules as I said
when
that.
it comes to media.
When it comes to media.
barka démba sa bañ ooyee media bi.
A day before yesterday when we called the media,
dañ leen oo ñu ñëw noonu rek.
we just called them, they came like
musuma
that.
remember fu ñu use procurement laws.
I never remember wherever we have used procurement laws
si media bi.
for on media.
But that will be unlawful.
nee na kon loolu ànd ak loi bi.
loolu laa la wax ne démba su doon tey la.
So this is what I have said. If at all today is just like yesterday,
du doon am.
it will not happen like that.
because ñun luñ seet rek mooy ne.
All that we see was that
GRTS moo ñu mën a defal luñ bugga.
GRTS are the people who are supposed to do what we want.
we have an audience boo xam ne xëy na ñu ngi toog Belgium for example.
We have an audience where they are staying in Belgium
nañ oo ay Africa.
and or in Africa.
nañ oo Paradise.
They will call Paradise.
nañ oo QTV.
We call QTV.
nañ oo GRTS.
We call GRTS.
and at the back of our minds.
And when they are looking at the back of our minds,
dañoo oo ñooñu because ñooñu ñoo nekk satellite.
they will call them because they are on the satellite.
so loolu rek la de.
That's the only thing.
We have, please proceed. Proceed, please.
waaw so su nekkee satellite.
But when it is on satellite,
xam nañ ñan lañ war a target.
we know the people they target.
We have again another voucher for cash allocation for media coverage during the town hall meeting.
Then am na voucher tamit bi nga xam ne dafa nekk loo xam ne during the
Town hall meeting.
town hall meeting.
Request for payment of media houses.
Request for payment of media houses.
Star TV live streaming event, $15,000.
Star TV live streaming events of $15,000.
Star FM live broadcasting event, $10,000.
Scout.
Star FM.
Star FM.
Live broadcasting event, $10,000.
Broadcasting events, $10,000.
A total of $25,000.
A total of $25,000.
The letter reads, I write on behalf of the mayor to request for the following payment.
This letter,
how did you arrive at these figures? How did you know that Star FM would be paid $15,000? They send you an invoice?
Okay.
Invoice.
Bu town hall bi.
This town hall.
Bobu foog naa media yi si yëpp lañ invite.
I think we invited all the media.
Because liñ si jublu woon.
Because the one we are facing.
mooy joxe visibility pour suñ EU project bi.
For us to give the visibility for our new projects.
And bi discussion bi.
This discussion.
mooy Jonas. Man CEO.
Myself CEO.
ak Mam Lai Jasseh.
And Mam Lai Jasseh.
Because dañ dem bis te suñ partners yi.
We went to our partners.
dañ feel ne project bi amut visibility.
And we feel that the project does not have the visibility.
So dañ bëggoon pour ñu génn.
So we want to go out.
ñu joxe project bi visibility.
And so that we can give the project the visibility.
But at the same time. Jonas dafa bëgg ñoom tam suñ toogee Belgium.
Jonas, when they are in Belgium.
ñu mun koo seen nit yi foofu tam ñu mun koo gis.
For their people to can be able to see.
So luñ def mooy.
What we did was.
ñu invite media lifin yëpp houses yëpp lañ invite.
We invited all the media houses.
Now who decided the amount to be paid?
Then léegi kan moo decide njëgi boobu ne boobu ngeen war a fay.
To be quite honest.
Then to be quite honest.
I cannot remember ndax Mam Lai la ndax Jonas la mënuma remember boobu.
I cannot remember exactly whether Mam Lai or Galaxy. I can't tell exactly who.
waaw waaye boobu moom CEO amu si woon hand.
But for that one, CEO did not have any hand there.
Wow.
We have cash impressed for the payment to the print media. They to provide coverage for the mayor upcoming town hall meeting. Again, $25,000 is. The memo was written by the same person to the chief executive officer.
Then amna halis tamit bi nga am ne njëgi 25,000 bi nga am ne tamit moom kena moo ko bindal ci executive officer.
We have impress for the Quranic recitation at Dobson Street, $40,000.
Impress bi nga am ne pour Quranic recitation at Dobson Street, $40,000.
We have a request for package.
You have a request for package.
On behalf of the mayor, I have to request for $40,000 for Quranic recitation at Dobson.
Then bind nañ ko satur pour ñu mëna am Quranic recitation ci Dobson.
How would you arrive to the amount of $40,000 that should be given for the Quranic recitation?
Naka nga demee ba jot njëg boobu wala naka nga demee ba nga xalaat ne li ngeen ko war a jox mooy $40,000.
I cannot remember exactly.
I cannot remember exactly.
Why foog naa dañ invite on ustaas yi ñu ñëw council.
But I think we invited the ustaz to came to council.
So bu ñu ñu wax leen lan lañ bëgg ñu defal ñu.
And when they came, they told us what they want for us to assist them.
Who did they meet?
Kan lañ fekk foofu.
Who did they meet?
Si kan lañ ñëwoon bu ñëwee council si kan lañ dem.
Foog naa man CEO and I cannot remember who.
I think myself CEO, but the third person I can't remember.
Do you have minutes of this meeting?
No, am ngeen minutes yooyu pour meeting boobu. No.
We have another one.
Am na beneen tamit.
A request of $20,000.
Request bi nga xam ne ñaari fukki junni la.
For refreshment for the UCLG political advisor from Ghana.
For UCG political officers advisors from Ghana.
We have
for refreshment.
Another voucher paid to Fatou Mbenga.
Am nañ beneen voucher tamit dañ ko fay si turu Fatou Mbenga.
Payment made to Bishop Hannah Fall.
Fay bi nga xam ne def na ko si Bishop Hannah Fall.
$43,000.
$43,000.
Request for award package.
Request for award package.
I write to request for $30,000 and $13,000 is for the purchase of items to be presented to Bishop Hannah Fall.
nena windena di laajte xaalis bi dem be fanweeri junni ak fukki junni ak ñetta pour joko ko ñoy wax Hannah Fall.
What did you buy from this?
nena lan ngeen jënd ci li
foog naa suma remember dafay yaaga waay
nena lan ngeen jënd ci xaalis boobu
foog naa ay ges na leen jëndoon mënuma remember
ay lan
ges na
I think we bought some adjustment. I can't remember exactly.
ba pare ñu yóbbu cash token tamit
And a cash token too was taken to them, to her.
Whose decision? Yours?
Nena halati kala.
sorry
Sa halat la wala? Decision bi si kala bayeku?
si management of council
The management of council.
because bi moo retire
Because when she was retiring,
ku nekk xam na lu Hannah defal Banjul
everybody knows what Hannah done in Banjul.
so we decided pour ne dañ ko honor
Then we decided that she should be honored,
so ñu dem as a team foofu
and we went there as a team
si church bi pour wax ko thank you
at the church to congratulate her, to tell her thank you.
How was the procurement done?
Nena procurement bi lan lañ def?
to be quite honest I cannot remember naka lañ ko defee
No, I can't remember exactly what we do with the procurement.
so boobu
But it's certain it did not follow the procurement process.
Nena waaye gom nga ne wala leer na sew ne topp leen yooni procurement de.
Correct?
it's possible waaw
Yes, it's possible.
Not possible. That is the case because if it follows procurement process, it would have gone through.
Yes.
All right. We have $23,000.
Nena am na tamit bu wone $23,000.
The request for package on behalf of the Mayor of Banjul, I like to request $23,000 for the purchase of gifts for presents for the UGLG political advisor.
Nena daf ko bind si sa tour pour nga gis ne mo na bay ay bagage pour ULG. UGLG.
Again, the same. We have the disbursement as cash impress allocation for the Quranic recitation at Sam Jack during the town hall meeting. The request was raised. It's $50,000. Request was raised by the Assistant Public Relations Officer, addressed to the Chief Executive Officer. How did you arrive at this amount, $50,000?
Yeah, so set a bit of it, then can have a voucher become the bind na ko while in more like the more Hallis be them na be $50,000. Then I like to be more. Nakangan de be jot jegibo ne $15,000. Nakanga yo.
waaw ñoom dañ leen de oo rek ñu waxtaan ak ñoom wan leen ne dañ bëgg ngeen wàcceel Banjul kaamil.
They just call us to say they need to read or recite the Quran.
And
that's the Kamil.
Most of the time, ñoom 40, ñoom 50 la.
And most of the time they are 40 or 50.
So the guy dañoo dem rek toogalu em.
So they go and cook them some food.
Jënd ndox.
We call the board buy water.
Ñaanal Banjul.
For Banjul.
Does the budget accommodate this as in not whether it is budgeted for? Yes. Because of course the donations are normally budgeted for.
Religion is, yeah.
Nena nekut ne mu ngi laajte ndax da ngeen ko budget waaye budget bi ngeen budget nena ndax loolu yëpp mun na dépense loolu.
Yooyu yëpp dañ ko dee budget Christmas.
Yes, we used to budget them all. Christmas.
Suñ naawal lifin bi naka naawal beach naawal bi.
Beach naawals.
What I mean is whether as at the time these monies are given, whether the account of council can accommodate it.
Nena moom lu mooy laajte mooy jamono bi nga xam ne joxe ngeen xaalis boobu nena mba account council amee na wala mun na ko doxal.
As per the budget allocation.
Si budget bi nga xam ne boobu ngeen allocate pour lii.
Loolu nag duma ko mën a xam because man su ma bindee si CEO bi.
No, I cannot be able to know that because whenever I write to the CEO.
For now, su fekkee ne xaalis amul dina ma ñëw wax ne ma xaalis amul. Mënuñ koo def.
If at all at the time of writing there is no money, he will come and inform me that there is no money. We cannot be able to sponsor that.
There can be money in the account. There will always be money in the account. But not perhaps just sufficient enough for this activity.
I know hadn't it happens, he will let me know or he will tell me.
Okay. When you come back, we will go through the budget. We have again second edition Sargal Ustaz Al Bashir Sisi.
Then I'm not better than Sargal edition Ustaz
Al-Bashir Sise.
Al-Bashir Sise.
You were invited as a chief guest of honor, correct?
Nena yow dañ la invite fofu as chief guest of honor.
I think $20,000 was taken.
Nena gom na ne 20,000 nga yow won. Wala lolu nga jëlon.
It's the same. It's the same process.
Nena bena process bi la.
No.
Yes.
Impressed for the hiring of tents, chairs, and purchase of packets of mineral water for the 12th March town hall meeting.
Nena hal bi nga xamne fengen ko pour toog yi ak jënd ndox pour town hall meeting.
$18,000.
$18,000.
How was this procurement done?
Nena li naka ngeen koy jëndon wala halis bi naka ngeen ko yoon ci procurement bi.
Man yi duma di xam sax naka lañ ko defee.
I don't know how they normally did it.
But who would have done the procurement?
Nena kan mo wara def procurement bi.
Wallahi lead council suma la waxee ne lii dama xamul sax naka la man li ma xam mooy.
I don't even
mayor bi dem na toog.
I don't even know nothing about this. All I know that mayor was present and went to sit.
ak table ak ci lifin.
That is why it is dangerous to have it in your name, the payment.
Nena li mo tax mu ngi wax ne comme yow sama fa nga ne yeguloo ko kon dafa dangerous pour ñu def ko fay bi ñu def ko sa tour.
moo tax ma ne la dama appreciate li nga ma woon ne ma.
This is what I
ba tey ba ëllëg si suma tour la dee nekk.
I
xam nga
appreciate.
léegi jàng naa tey man dara su ëllëgee su ñoo defaa du nekk si turi mayor.
That is what I told you. Now I appreciate coming here and having the knowledge that all these were put into my names. But the next time.
These are templates yoo xam ne yu fa fekk rek dafa mel ni copy and paste sañ def ba léegi.
These are templates that we find that they are just like copy and paste.
barka démb sax maa ngi suma personal assistant bi.
Yesterday, day before yesterday, I was with my personal assistant.
mu ngi request pour water pour office bi.
He was requesting for water for the office.
suma tur moo fa nekk.
But my name
I'm
appears.
requesting on behalf of the mayor.
I'm requesting on behalf of the mayor.
So waaye xam nga man léegi jàng naa su ma eggee.
From here, I have learned.
dinaa ko ne ko su koy bindal wax ne I'm requesting on behalf of the
Whenever I
CEO.
get back, whatever they are writing, I'll tell them no, not in behalf of the mayor, but behalf of the.
dafa mel nii rek a typical example.
It seems this is a typical example.
lead council jiitu neexut de.
Lead council to be a leader is very difficult.
moo tax ma ne la commission bi man dama fi jàngee lu bëree bëri.
This is why I said I learn a lot in this commission.
sometimes da ngay toog nga regret sax.
Sometimes I sit and I regret.
da ngaa
Why?
bëgg a regret sax lu baax loo xam ne yaa ngi ko doon def.
You regret to something good that you were doing.
man toog naa fii dégg ñu ne mayor bi 15,000 la day am essence.
I heard people saying that I am giving 15,000 for petrol.
te ki toog fii di ko wax moom moo la gën a xam ne mu ngi mislead the commission.
And the person sitting here saying that the commission, he know better that he is misleading the commission.
because 15,000 is not for the mayor, it's the office of the mayor.
The 15,000 is not for the mayor, but it's for the office of the mayor.
the protocol.
The protocol,
utility cars yi.
utilities cars,
the official car bi.
official car,
yëpp fa la nekk.
all is included.
waaye dafa toog fii comfortably.
But sit here comfortably.
mu ne mayor bi 15,000 la day am essence.
Said mayor is giving 15,000 for petrol.
Gambie yëpp daw ak loolu.
Everybody run with that information.
mayor bi 15,000 la day am essence.
Mayor used to get 15,000 for petrol.
so kooku xam na ne.
And that individual knew.
diggante ma yàlla bu mu ko doon wax.
Between himself and God, when he was saying that,
mu ngi wax lu neex commission bi.
he was telling something that the commission will appreciate.
na wax lu ma wax rek mu génn mu dem.
He just say, or he feel to say whatever he want to say and go.
su fekkoon ne si diggante bi man dama dee yoon.
If at all at that is this in between, I happen to die.
du am kenn ku ma vindicate.
Nobody will vindicate.
Maybe the individual was saying something that suits him or her best, not the commission.
Nena mun na nekk kooku mu ngi wax loo xam ne daf ko bëgg a wax waaye nekkut ne pour commission bi.
But witnesses
Nena waaye seede yi nga xam ne.
can say
Lead counsel.
things that they want to. Just hear me out. Witnesses, I always allow you to talk at any time. The
Nena-
witnesses have the right to say whatever they want to say.
Nena seede yi ñëw fii am nañu warugal pour wax lépp loo xam ne bëgg nañu ko wax.
And I always repeat, it will be welcomed.
And te moom toujours dafa ne banque wax nee na loolu is welcome.
It's an investigation.
Nee na loolu investigation la.
lead counsel.
Just hear me, just give me 1 minute
mu ne nga may ko mu
to
wax
clear that.
mu leeral la.
I know it's difficult when you sit home or sit somewhere and you hear someone saying something that you don't agree with.
nee na xam na yëg naa ne dafa métti pour nga toog place di déglu keneen di wax sa mbir li nga xam ne doo ko nangu.
But in investigation like this, it has to happen.
nee na waaye façon investigation foog loolu xew.
Like you said, because of the office you occupy.
nee na comme yow sa bopp wax nga office bi nga xam ne foofu nga amee.
Some will come and testify and you will agree with them.
nee na ñeneen dañoo ñëw ñu wax la dara nga dal di nangoo ak ñoom.
You could have been here easily and say that I never saw this money given to Fatou Mbenga.
nee na mën ngaa taxaw fii wala nga toog fii te nga ne musuma gis ñuy jox xaalis bi Fatou.
But you did not do that.
nee na waaye def loolu.
You spoke the truth.
nee na dëgg bi nga wax.
If someone else wants to lie,
nee na keneen su bëggee fen.
the evidence will be heard.
nee na nañ ko déglu.
It will be taken.
nañ ko jël.
And it will be processed by the commission.
nee na commission bi ñoo koy toppatoo ñoo koy balance.
What we say is the freedom to speak
nee na fii freedom la pour
and
nga wax.
give evidence.
nga joxe evidence.
So that when an evidence is against you
nee na da nga gis ne wax bi cadre bi su ñëwee ba mu lemos la.
or any other person,
nee na wala keneen.
when you come here,
soo ñëwee.
you will clarify and give your own side of the story.
nga leeral nga xam ne fu ñu la tuumi wala lu ñu wax si yow li nga xam ne
The
amut.
fuel that it is said that you are allocated
nee na fuel bi nga wax ne boobu lañu la lay jox.
is already in evidence.
nee na mu ngi evidence.
When you are here and it's time to discuss those,
nee na suñ soo nekkee fii jamono boobu jot pour waxtaan loolu.
you will also clarify that.
nee na foofu moom tamit sa wargal la pour nga leeral sa boppam.
And please, even if we do not ask you that,
nee na even laajtewuñ la loolu sax.
and you had any witness say anything about you,
nee na te yow dégg nga wala gis nga serende di wax sa mbir.
the chairperson, the commissioners,
chairperson, commissioners.
don't hesitate to bring it to their attention that you want to reply.
nee na boobu moom amut waste time pour nga wax leen ne lii de am na ñu ma tuubi fii waaye da nga bëgg a.
Because we may forget to bring an issue up.
nee na ñun mun nañ nekk sax lu ñu déggoon sa kaw ñu faate ko pour yëgal la ko.
Don't forget.
non waaye yow war loo faate de.
Because it goes to you.
nee na parce que si yow la ñëw.
You understand?
nee na fëli nga loolu.
lii council.
lead council.
dama dut xam sax gis nga lu mel ni essence.
I don't know for fuel.
sometimes suma moto bi dama dee daw ba man suma bopp ma taxaw di jëndal suma bopp essence.
I sometimes drive and I stop myself and buy petrol.
gis nga suñ signé ñoom suñ demee sign muy protocole bi mbaa muy driver bi or whoever.
Whoever went to sign.
luñ dugal si moto bi xaw ma ko.
I don't know how much they took to their vehicle or my vehicle.
Let me just ask you questions regarding the fuel. You would have asked that question at some point.
Then I'll be the essence be mom, wala fuel be mom. The nani like telolu si beden me fana.
But since you brought it up,
Wa come legi ya sabo pa wanga ko.
What is your fuel allocation?
Then ayo sa fuel allocation nyada la.
Office of the Mayor 15,000 lañ leen di jox.
Office of the Mayor 15,000.
protocol bi dafa fuel moto bi 5,000.
The protocol will fuel his car for 5,000.
mu fuel suma official car bi 5,000.
And my office's car will be fuel 5,000.
mu fuel utility car bi 5,000.
The utility car will fuel 5,000.
mu su ñëw ekati fuel jox ma ko si suma loxo.
And they have never take fuel and give it to me.
Let me ask. Let me just ask a question. You have a protocol.
I'm a protocol.
What is his or her name?
Nena Turambi.
Margaret Samba.
And is she allocated fuel?
Nena degal ko
By the
fuel.
council?
By council. Council len ko dejo fuel.
Because bena moto bi moom moo ko amee.
The one vehicle is with her.
No. Whose decision was that?
Nena
Your decision or
decision
of the administration?
No. Management decision. Moom mooy the chief of protocol.
Management decision. She is the chief of the protocol.
So she is part of the people that are allocated fuel as per the budgetary.
Yes.
Nena ñom tamit kooku tam nekk na ko xamne da ngeen ko dejo fuel si budget bi.
I had Margaret. I thought
yes.
She is a he?
He, yes.
He, yes.
And so the $5,000 is, when did this start? Which year?
Nena $5,000 bobu kañ la door.
Which budget can we find this?
Nena ban budget nga mëna fekk lolu wala gis lolu.
Si sen mandate 2018 to 2023.
2018 to 2023.
Now, as you have stated,
that
the evidence that you have $15,000 is by yourself is wrong. When you come back tomorrow, will you be able to help us with the budget to show where the allocations for the office of the mayor is clearly stated?
Budget, sign.
Budget or where they normally sign.
Yes,
whatever.
but before the signature, there will have been approvals for as to who is entitled to receive fuel.
Then abala sign bi wala signature bi dafa am loo xam ne koo xam ne dañu ko taxawal kooku mooy entitled pour mun a
How do you decide who is entitled to receive what?
yow naka nga xalaate ku nekk ñaata nga war a jot si
How does the
No, lolo,
area council decide?
administration bi moko def.
That is from the
Def ko si
administration.
budget bi ñu indi ko ñu approve ko.
You put in the budget and bring it and it will
Well,
be
I can tell
approved.
you that the office of the mayor,
But I will tell you that the office of the mayor,
that they am 15,000 allocation.
we do have
Yes,
15,000.
for the $5,000 is for the protocol. Because you and
5,000
the
for the
protocol,
protocol.
you have the same.
Then I yow protocol bi benn amount ngeen day am.
Little so man every week dama de yok essence suma lifi.
For me, every week I need to buy and
I do the same too.
from my own pocket.
then mom daan loolu la de def.
Because council demam be ñewam bi dafa bari.
Because for me, my car going and coming.
My point is,
very
you agree
frequent.
with me that you cannot have the same amount of fuel with the protocol officer.
Then lu mooy laajte wala lu mu lay wax mooy gëm nga ne yow ak protocol officer war leen a nekk
It
benn
should not be
njëg.
the same level.
Then warut. Yes.
Enya office of the mayor buñ leen joxé lolu.
I know of office of the mayor when it is given to the office of the mayor.
Mom moko decide man la musuma dugg ci affaire yi I was shocked bima déggé fi
He
the
will
mayor
decide.
man 15,000 la di am essence.
I tell you, I have never entered into how the fuel is distributed. This is why
Yes,
I was
but
shocked
help us.
when I heard that the office of the mayor is supplied with $15,000.
Help me to get the authority,
Dina nga jàppale ko pour mu am
to get
authority.
the allocations.
Allocations.
Inshallah.
That if it is from the CEO,
Bu fekkee
example,
ne si CEO la jógee,
we see the memo
daal di gis memo
or
bi
the communication,
wala communication
the
bi
budget as well,
budget bi
that
tamit
states that
Li nga xam ne-
5,000
boobu moo wone ne 5,000
is for the protocol officer,
is for the protocol officer,
5,000
5,000
is for you,
pour yow la,
and the other 5
beneen
for the
5,000
utility car.
pour utility car yi.
Lolu yomb na yalla sax parce que man bima démé pour gis ko dama éga rek ma laajte koku mu ne ma li ni ak ni la dé démé.
That is very easy because when I ask him, he then show
He cancel.
me and indicate me this,
Wax na la ne li
how
is
it
part
works.
of my li is part of my legacy.
I told you this is part of
ma
my.
taxaw fi di fen.
I will not stand here and tell
Fi nit tok na
lies.
fi mu ne
People seated here and he said,
bim ko waxé daf la yobbuwalé yow ci sa bopa.
when that individual said that he moved you yourself,
Bi mo waxé man dama dé yobbu nit ñi ñuy abscon.
said that I used to take people for them to abscond.
You would not know how I think.
Nee na yow doo mën a xam moom nu mu
Non
xalaat
sa
sa
lu ma miin
xalaatam.
mooy dama day man sa action bi la gis understand nga.
Yes.
No, what I'm telling you is that might be your
Te
reaction.
billahi
That is what I saw.
You would not know how I think.
Nee na doo mën a xam lan naka la
You
xalaat.
would not know who I believe.
Nee na
Loolu
doo
dëgg
xam
la.
moom kan la gëm.
My belief has zero importance in this commission, I can guarantee you.
Nee na moom gis nga moom lu mu gëm. Amul benn wéet is 0 point.
If a witness convinces the commissioners, that is the important thing.
Nee na witness ñu ñëwee ba wax ba convince commissioners yi naa ne nee na loolu moo gën a am fayda.
That's why I gave you the example
Yeah,
that
li
if
moo
someone
tax.
tells me that the Mayoress Rohey Malick Lowe put $100 in her account, I, Patrick Gomez, in my private individual capacity, I may say that's not true.
Nee na lii moo tax mu wax la mu ne nit su ko ñëwee te mu ne la yow sa account 100,000 moo fa nekk nee na pour moom bu fa mun na wax ne wala mu xalaat ne non lii du dëgg.
I may say I also believe it.
Nee na tamit mun naa nekk mu ne waaw dëgg la lu am la.
But for the purpose of the hearing,
Nee na waaye da ngaa gis ne fatna bi nga xam ne fu gën a am fayda mooy.
it's irrelevant.
Nee na loolu àndut ak wax
The
bi.
people sitting here,
ñu toog fii.
it will be irrelevant.
Nee na loolu da ngaa gis ne loolu.
I believe,
dafa
I don't
nekk loo xam ne
believe,
amul
it goes to no issue.
nee na loo gis ne lu am lu wéet demul
My
fenn.
only job is to ask questions
nee na moom liggéeyam bi mooy laajte
and test your evidence
pour mu test sa evidence
Li
and,
council
and get the evidence.
mu am mu daal di am evidence.
dama foog ne ñun ñëpp ñi fee toog fii it's very important ñu nit ki du dee mut man gis naa koo xam ne toog na fi mu wax loo xam ne lu mu wax noonu ne ko dëgga waaye man xam naa ne du woon intention am pour mu waxee ko noonu.
Council, for here I see people
Man,
sit here and they say something that is not
Ay,
true,
am na lu ma
but
wax loo xam
probably
ne
is not from their mind because
am na
of.
ku ko xoolee ne mais waru ko woon a waxee nii.
But as for me personally, I'm sitting here, what I'm saying, somebody will say, but what Mayor is saying,
Why-
she should not say it like that.
mun naa laa waatal si yàlla ne am na ñoo xam ne dara ekkatiwulee lu du jaaxa.
But I can swear to God that some people came here, nothing brought them here, but just to spoil.
Lead Council, I'm the mayor of Banjul.
I am the mayor of Banjul.
Why I am also the vice president of the Global Parliament of Mayors.
I am always the vice president of the Global Parliament of Mayors.
I'm also the president of Rafela.
And I am also the president of Rafela.
Ñi tok fenen dima deglu suma nawle yi lañ.
So the people listening to me outside.
Witness tok fi mu ne man ma lay tax ñooñu di dafa am ñoo xamne dama leen di yobbu ñuy abscond. And
a witness came here and said some people abscond because of I assisted them to do so.
We will get to that.
Yalla dimbale ma.
Nena lolu nañ fa aga.
Yalla dimbale ma.
May God help me.
Ñi nga xamne dañ dem ñëw amu ci kenn ku ci musa and ak man.
People who come here and went, nobody have accompanied with me.
We will get to that.
Nena bu sobe Yalla fofu mom dinañ fa aga.
We will put it to you.
Nate nañ la ko yegal.
And then you react to it.
Evidence
will be tested.
So evidence read
and then all your evidences to you and all the witnesses in relation to that subject matter will still be considered.
Another
voucher is for the disbursement of sensitization and coverage of mayor's election.
Coverage of mayor's election bid.
As the president of Rafela.
As the president of Rafela.
$10,000.
$10,000.
Says I write to request for $10,000 to cover cost of sensitization and coverage of the Lord Mayor's election bid and its ramifications to the Gambia as a country, with the benefits be it tangible and intrinsic embedded in the flagship of being the president of Rafela Africa. It is against this backdrop that we wish to engage Kings FM for coverage and sensitization. Why Kings FM?
Kings FM? I have no idea.
Why it was paid to Fatou Mbenga? Under your instructions?
I don't know. As I told you, some of them I'm not even aware. I think you said King FM.
Now, if you are not aware, in some instances, requests made in your name, then who else will be aware?
Then I also know I'm not fair. I'm not definitely going to say I can't know what I No. Luma wax moy ne.
No, what I'm saying is that for them to choose
King FM. Mun nañu raise lifin bi waye man duma xamne King FM lañu dem.
They can be able to raise, but I will not know. King FM.
Now,
King FM.
Your election bid for the Rafela, is that part of council's budget?
Then I King election be pro Rafela bi nenda lolu wata bokasi council budget.
Not
amna council budget.
Not Rafela per se.
Not Rafela per se.
Why from the visibility budget?
Not from the visibility budget. Visibility budget.
What is the visibility budget?
Nena, what is the visibility budget?
Moy journalists ak yoyep.
That is the journalists and all those.
But this is for Rafela.
But Nena li
for election.
Pro Rafela for election.
Why lead council?
Lead council.
Nañ appreciate nak wax deug yalla. Li sud council Rafela.
Let us appreciate council Rafela.
Council su Rafela su council defale Rafela 1.
If I council do one for Rafela.
Rafela defal na council 1 200.
Council Rafela done 200 to council.
So I don't know why lutax mu nek a problem.
I don't know why it became a problem.
For like 10,000.
For like the amount of 10,000.
A typical example.
For a typical example.
Rafela indi na 200,000 for youth volunteerism bi.
Rafela brought 200,000 for youth volunteerism.
Rafela indi na Bloomberg project.
The Rafela brought Bloomberg project.
Rafela indi na yenen projects.
Rafela brought many other projects.
Rafela indi na boreholes projects.
They brought boreholes projects.
In the borehole projects.
They brought borehole projects.
Right now we have $1 million.
Right now we have $1 million.
So I cannot understand. Luta $10 or $20.
I don't understand why $10 or $20 that.
Mom la Banjul City Council di jox Rafela.
That
Rafela
Banjul-
di jox Banjul.
Banjul City Council gave to Rafela, and what Rafela used to give to
Ay 10,
Banjul,
15 million, 20 million mu nekk problem.
15 million, 20 million became a problem.
You asked a very good question.
And
And a legal life dafa am fayda trop.
waa definitely man
Definitely myself.
lii dama bëgg naa ko understand bu baax a baax a baax.
I want to understand this.
soo gisee certain projects ma ne leen ñu xaar. because
You
we need
see
to
certain
differentiate.
projects because we need to differentiate.
Because Rafela is part of United Cities of Local Government.
Rafela is part of
United Cities of Local Government.
United Cities of Local Governments.
Banjul City Council is a member of the United Cities of Local Government.
And Banjul City Council is a member of the national. Yeah, we got it.
You asked a very important question.
Nena linga like da afam fayda trop.
In fact,
In fact,
most people will think like that.
nena ñene ni lañ koy xalaté.
It's not their fault.
Negut sen fault de.
I gave you 200,000.
Mu ne ma jox la 200,000.
I take your $5 unlawfully.
Mu jël sa $5 li nga xam ne àndut ak yoon.
Why do you have to have a problem with that?
Nena loolu da nga war a am problème si
I
loolu.
already gave you $200,000.
Man jox na la $200,000.
But that's my choice.
But it's my choice. Suma xalaat la.
Do you understand that?
Nena yëg nga loolu.
And it's a goodwill.
Nena guddi boobu xalaat bu baax la si moom.
I will not ask you about what Rafela has done for the people
Nena moom du la laajte Rafela lan la def si nit ñi.
in my capacity as lead counsel.
Nena moom comme taxawaayam bi at lead council.
In my private capacity,
Nena moom private capacity am bi.
maybe I am clapping for you.
Nena mu ngi laa tàccu.
Maybe I'll vote for you over and over again.
Nena te dina ko toppa bu yoon bu nekk.
Maybe I am in support of that.
Nena te mun na nekk moom loolu rek la support.
But that's not why I'm here.
O nena waaye loolu taxul mu nekk fii.
That's the issue.
Nena lii la.
So, just because you have done so much good
Nena comme def nga ko lu baax wala def nga lu bëri li nga xam ne dafa baax.
does not mean procedure in the most minor way should not be followed.
Nena loolu taxut loo xam ne loolu mooy yoon bi nga war a jaar toppaloo ko.
It is the law saying it, not me.
Nena du moom de waaye loi bi moo ko wax.
And I will read it to you again.
Nena dina la ko jàngal nga dégg ko.
It says the financial manual,
Nena financial manual bi.
section 504,
Section 504.
control of expenditure.
Nena control of expenditure.
The Director of Finance is directly responsible for the control of expenditure. He is personally responsible for the control of all votes and liable for any unauthorized expenditure. You understand? That he or she should ensure the following: that the expenditure of council shall be within the approved estimates. It didn't say $1 or $100 or $50 or so. It did not say $1, $100 or $50,000.
$100 or $50,000.
It says even one butut,
Nena butut sax benn butut sax.
because it's public funds.
Nena parce que mbooloo ñoo ko moom.
If we disregard the payment of $10,000 because it's minor,
Nena soo seetee ñu ne $10,000 fay ko daal boobu moom dafa tuuti.
Lord Mayor,
Nena Lord Mayor.
and we do it the second time
Nena ñu defaat ko ñaari yoon.
because it seems to be a minimal amount.
Nena mun na loolu lu ko gisee mooy xaalis bu
It becomes a norm.
dafa nekk yoon.
Those $10
Nena $10 yooyu le.
will amount to millions.
Nena dafa dem ba million.
Is that not the case?
Nena ba demewut noonu.
dëgg la.
True.
That is why it's
Nena
important
loolu moo tax.
we don't look at the figure,
duñ dee seet ñaata la.
we look at the process.
Nena yoon bi la ñoo seet.
Yes, that's the only important.
Nena loolu moo jël am fayda.
That is why, again, the law says here on page 38, the procurement methods and thresholds,
Nena lii moo tax loi bi mu daldi ko bankuwaat fii.
that local government procurement procedures should be done strictly in accordance with the Public Procurement Act.
Nena loolu mooy local government expenditure dafa war a nekk loo xam ne dafa ànda ak loi bi nu mu ko tëralee.
It's not
waaye lii
me
council.
saying that.
Yes, lead council.
Banjul City Council dafa am memorandum of understanding ak Rafel.
Banjul City
No,
Council.
first, do we understand why it is important?
Nena
What's the amount?
waaw.
yes.
Okay, please proceed.
waaw Banjul City Council dafa am memorandum of understanding ak Rafela.
Banjul City Council had a memorandum of understanding with Rafela
and binding
and binding
mooy ne ñun dina jëm uti xaalis bi ñu indi ko.
that will go and find monies and bring them.
Banjul City Council moom tamit suñ local operators yi fi nekk.
And Banjul City Council, the local operators they are in,
dinañ leen jox seen allowances yi.
they will be giving their allowances.
And to be quite honest.
And to be honest with you,
xale yi try nañ de.
the people have tried.
Because the competition.
The youngest have tried. The competition
is too high.
It's too high.
So yëngatuwut.
If you don't,
gisuñ la fu nekk nga yëngatu.
if you don't see anywhere you take,
you are not visible.
you are not visible.
Well, I don't am dara.
You will not get anything.
Now, would it not be proper to have all this pass through the normal channel?
Then hana negut wala lolu du nek yoon pour nga gis ne lolu yep ngeen yobu ko ci yoon bu war.
Lii dañ ko yóbbu to General Council.
These have been taken to General Council.
Wallahi General Council ànd si.
And General Council agreed.
The procurement.
Then a procurement bill.
Is what I'm referring.
Then a lola nek di wax.
Okay.
Okay.
Man, I totally agree with you. Wax naa la ne.
I totally agree with you. I told you
yu
that.
bari yoo xam ne ñu ngi ko doon def su doon démba mooy tey duñ ko def.
There are certain things we were doing. Definitely, if I told yesterday we came today, we will not do
Fii su ma
it.
fi ñëwutoon du ma jànga ne.
If I don't come here, I will not learn that.
Su ñoo def request waruñ ko def suma tur.
If we are making requests or any request should not be on my name.
Wax naa la ne barka démba sax suma personal assistant bi moo request pour am refreshment ci suma office.
I told you a day before yesterday, not even long, my assistant did a request
It was on
for
behalf of the mayor.
in my office. It was the same
I am
on behalf of
requesting
my
on behalf
name,
of the mayor.
the mayor
Te li council
and lead council.
yàlla dafa def rek ne lii 2018 la commission bi door.
As I said, God made that this commission started 2018.
Su fekkoon ne commission bi dañ ko delloo woon gannaaw.
If at all it has been pushed backward,
Di ngeen dégga loole musta dégga.
we will hear something, or the commission will hear something that they have never heard of.
Most of these things yoo xam ne personal assistance ak PRO ñu ko def.
Most of these things which the personal assistants and the PRO doing,
Template yu ñu fa dee fekk rek mel
the
ni copy and
template,
paste.
that's the one they follow, just like copy and paste.
Nekku dara loo xam ne ñun ñoo ko invent.
It doesn't mean that anything was there that we invented,
waaye again appreciate naa
but I appreciate it.
te su ma demee xëj na dinañ wéy ci doxin si boor boobu.
If I go back, we will change the system on that side.
Man lu ma bëggoon a xam rek soo ma si mënee dimbale and I'm just appealing to you.
And all I want is that if you can be able to assist me, and I'm appealing to you, if at all,
su fekkee ne the personal assistant bindut ne on behalf of the mayor.
if at all the personal assistant did not write it on behalf of the mayor,
Bindut on behalf of the office of the mayor.
and he does it write on the office of the mayor,
Kon dafa war a binda on behalf of council.
then he's supposed to write on behalf of council.
Before I move to this other payment for the town hall meeting coverage,
Hello. Point of correction, Your Worship.
Point of correction.
You just said here, if the commission was set back many years ago,
5 years.
Commission was suñ ko deloon baag ay at yu gannaaw si gannaaw.
that the things that are there,
Nee na lu fa nekk,
you just copied from there.
nee na loolu nga copy yooyu si yooyu ngay doxee.
I was there, but I've never operated the way you were operating.
Nee na moom mu ngoon foofu de waaye moom doxalinam bi ak yow sax ñu ngay
So
doxine di
I
benn.
think you have to make it clear.
Nee na kon da nga war a leeral foofu.
Thank you.
Thank you.
now, I proceed. We have again the media coverage for Mayor Town Hall meeting. That is 31st of October 2022. You have discussed issues regarding the media coverage. Council support to Janke Sonko of Tali. Is it Tali Dauda for the upkeep of her children? Tali Dauda. Tali Dauda. Yes. That's $5,000. We have payment of water and refreshment, but again, the same with for Janke Sonko of Tali Dauda.
Nee na ñu door si Janke Sonko of Tali Dauda.
Again, we have a request from the Assistant Public Relations Officer.
Nee na request bu jógee si Assistant Public Relations Officer.
address to the Chief Executive Officer
mu daal di ko address ci Chief Executive Officer
for $5,000 support
pour $5,000 pour support
on behalf of the Lord Mayor.
ci kaw ci sa tur Lord Mayor.
And the money was paid to Fatou Mbenga.
te xaalis bi dañ ko fay ci Fatou Mbenga.
It's a check amount.
nee na loolu check la woon.
I know you have already said, you have already accepted that it's not the best process.
nee na te gom nga ne yow sa boppa nangu nga ne loolu nekkutoon yoon.
There was cash impressed to print 1,000 T-shirts.
nee na am na cash impress bi nga xam ne pour print 1,000 T-shirt.
From Mayor's Town Hall meeting.
From Mayor Town Hall meeting.
Of Banjul North constituency.
bi nga xam ne pour Banjul North constituency.
The amount paid was $200,000.
nee na xaalis bi nga xam ne fay nañu ko dem na ba ñaari téeméeri junni.
The memo from the assistant PRO to the CEO.
nee na memo bi nga xam ne assistant PRO bi bind na ko ci CEO.
Reads request for payment for visibility service.
mu daal di ko bind ne payment for visibility service. Visibility service.
On behalf of the Mayor of Banjul, I'd like to request for the payment of 1,000 T-shirts for the Mayor's upcoming town hall meeting at Banjul North constituency slated for 26th of March 2022. Council, in its efforts to bridge the communication gap with Banjulians, have decided to organize a series of town hall meetings in all constituencies in Banjul. It is intended to create an opportunity for residents of the city to ask questions and seek clarifications on issues regarding the council. Also creates a platform for direct interaction and meaningful dialogue between the council and residents of the city. Now, before I go to the procurement issue, what is this town hall meeting for?
The EU
town hall meeting bi pour lan la?
Mooy EU town hall project meeting bi.
EU town?
EU project ma la doon wax.
EU project meeting.
Waaw.
That I was telling you.
Now, this $200,000 is from council's accounts?
nee na 200,000 boobu si council's account la bàyyeeko.
I'm not sure whether council la ndax si EU project bi.
I'm not sure whether it is from council or the EU project.
Now, the T-shirts were printed from Hamdan Kasiran.
nee na T-shirt bi fu ñu ko print mooy Hamdan Kasiran.
Who is Hamdan Kasiran?
nee na kan mooy Hamdan Kasiran?
Printer la.
It's a printer.
And then who made the decision to contract this to Hamdan Kasiran?
nee na kan mooy si idea boobu pour ngeen contact Hamdan Kasiran pour ñu print leen seen T-shirt si.
Foog naa Hamdan Margaret moo ko indi.
I cannot remember, but I think it was Margaret who brought them.
It was?
Margaret.
Foog naa Margaret la. I cannot remember.
I cannot remember fully.
CEO bi mun naa clear loolu.
But CEO can be able to clear that.
Was this your instruction as well?
nee na ndax loolu tamit sa kaddu la. No.
You do not tell or instruct them to use Hamdan Kasiran?
nee na nekkul ne yaa leen advice waaye wax leen pour ñu use Hamdan Kasiran. No.
But you knew Hamdan Kasiran before?
nee na waaye yow xam nga woon Hamdan Kasiran balaa booba.
Because Margaret indi waaw.
Yes, when Margaret brought them, yes.
Why did you not tell Margaret to follow procurement process?
nee na lu tax waxuloo Margaret pour mu toppa procurement process bi.
Xaw ma naka la ko Margaret defee sax.
I don't even know how Margaret managed to.
waaye xam naa ne Margaret moo ko introduce si office bi.
But all I know is that it was him who introduced them to the office.
But Margaret does not work as a procurement officer.
nee na waaye Margaret nekkul moom liggéeyam mooy procurement officer.
déedéet waxuma ne procurement officer la.
No, I never said he is a procurement officer.
Yes, so you shouldn't have allowed him
nee na yow warloo nangu
to
pour
even
moom
take part in this procurement.
pour mu daal di bokk mbooram si procurement bi.
waaye lii council waaye mii wax naa la di ma ne la xaw ma naka lañ procurement ne. procure tisaati sax.
I have said
waaye I am
earlier.
honest enough pour wax la ne Margaret moo ko indi moom.
I have said earlier on that I have no idea how this contract was given to them, but I said all I know was Margaret who brought them to the office.
Do you know whether Margaret has any kickbacks from this?
nee na ndax Margaret am na ay dugg yi nga xam ne jox nañ ko si lii.
déedéet.
No.
Do you think it is possible?
nee na foog nga ne loolu mun na am.
tisaat si benn ñaata la.
A T-shirt, how much was a T-shirt?
$200.
$200.
foog naa t-shirt si market bi.
I think
Kaya
a
suñu laajtee si
t-shirt,
market bi ñu xam t-shirt bi na ñaata la.
if we go to the market, we ask, we may know exactly how much is a t-shirt.
waaye knowing market.
Do you know?
But knowing market,
Do you know how much?
then xam nga ñaata la
t-shirt.
t-shirt.
Man de ñu ne bi ñoo taxaw élection.
For the time when I was contesting for election,
maa ngi doon printé suma t-shirt yeneen 200 yeneen 225 yeneen 250.
I used to print my t-shirts 200, 225,
ba 250.
250.
Is there any chance that it may be less than this?
Nena mba munta am chance bi nga xam ne njëg bi dana jëna wàññeeku wala li ngay fay du àgg foofu.
t-shirt si market bi.
T-shirt at the
Yes.
market.
fooguma ko.
You can't have it for 150.
I don't think so.
At
Nena
this
mun
time,
loo ko am
t-shirt.
150.
Yes. Is it not dangerous to have your direct staff to do the procurement?
Nena ndaa loolu nekkut loo xam ne dafa dangerous pour yow sa bopp nga xam ne moo nekk sa ron sa direct staff mu dal di def procurement.
Is that not dangerous?
Nena ndaa loolu is not dangerous.
moo ko def de waaye xam naa ne moom moo introduce kooku ak council.
I don't know whether he was the one who did the process, but
Fatou
all I
Menga-
know that he's the one
Fatou
who
Menga said-
introduced it to the council.
Fatou Menga said you gave the instructions.
Nena Fatou Mbengue lu mu wax mooy yow yaa jógee digal.
waaw Fatou su waxee loolu wax na dëgg.
Yes, if Fatou says so, then that is true.
Yes.
She had the truth.
And so there is a possibility that what was paid was too much.
Nena mun naa nekk li ngeen fay dafa bëri dafa nekk xaalis bu bëri.
I asked that because this is called market survey.
Nena su gisee mu wax loolu because lii dañ ko lu ñuy wax mooy market survey.
Not because I think you have paid too much,
Nena jëlul ne wala waxut ne yow li nga fay dafa bëri.
but it's a possibility.
Nena waaye mun na nekk.
waaye xam nga man wax naa la li ma fay si t-shirt.
But I told you what I normally pay for a t-shirt.
Yes.
Yes.
So someone may have a different story.
Nena keneen mun na am lu mooy wax li nga xam ne dafa utee.
waaw loolu mun naa nekk.
Yes, that can happen.
Exactly. We all purchase items and then a friend of yours will tell you, but you can have it less than this.
Nena ñun ñëpp dañ dee jënd bagage waaye nga gis ne mun naa loolu mun ngaa jënd bagage nga ñëw sa xarit mu ne la xay yow li xaalis bu bëri la di mun ngaa am li sa njëg boo xam ne mutul li nga jënd.
Women do that all the time.
Nena jigéen yi dañ ko def all the
And
time.
you recommend to each other the most affordable.
te si biir yooyu dañoo wonante place bi nga xam ne foofu moo gën a yomba.
That is what the specialized procurement unit does.
Nena specialized procurement unit lii mooy seen liggéey.
They do what we call a market survey.
Nena ñoom lu ñooy def mooy lu ñooy wax market survey.
You know a market survey?
Nena xam nga lu ñooy wax market survey.
waaw.
Yes.
What do you understand by market survey?
Nena loo xam si market survey.
pour seet fu gën a compétitif rek.
Nena pour mun a seet fan moo gën a competitive.
Yes, the most affordable.
The most affordable.
lead council.
Yes.
Lead council.
wax naa la ne.
I tell you that
many things has gone wrong.
many things have gone
te dama
wrong
ko accept.
and I accept it.
man bi maa ñëw Banjul City Council.
When I was
2018.
When I was
ñëw 2018.
when I was coming to Banjul at City Council in the year 2018,
fekkuñ fa a procurement office.
I did not find there any procurement office.
nekku fa woon.
There was none.
fekkuñ fa courant.
There's no
fekkuñ fa ndox.
there's no
fekkuñ fa
water,
moto mbalit.
no dustbins.
loolu yëpp fekkuñ ko fa.
I don't find anything therein.
bi maa ñëw.
When I was coming,
benn kayit sa joxuñ ma ko pour wax ma ne handing over.
nobody gave me even a single paper to say this is handing over.
moo tax ma ne la am na councils yoo xam ne.
This is why I said we have certain councils.
they are lucky.
They are very lucky.
parce que da nga ñëw ñu indi la everything tegal la ko.
Because whenever you come, they put all things in your front.
ñun amuñ woon loolu.
We didn't have that.
so many things.
Many things.
loo xam ne moo tax ma ne la.
This is why I told you,
suñ delloo waatoon gannaaw tuuti.
if you went back further,
di nga appreciate suñ council bi.
you will appreciate our council.
even though comme lu ma la wax rek we are not perfect.
As I said, we are not perfect.
ku ñëw inherit council.
Who came and inherit?
fekk council bi mu ngi amel banque yi nekk biir Gambia yëpp amul benn banque na bu du Standard Bank banque yëpp lañ amel.
Apart from Standard Bank, they owed all the banks.
so what they were doing.
What we are doing,
mooy li ñoo wax in Sweden window banking.
that's what we normally say in Sweden, window banking.
nga amel kii suñ ne waruloo soo amee bank bi 1 million.
So I'm a bank, if you have 1 million, we owe bank 1 million.
waruloo mën a leb si beneen bank bi.
You cannot be able to leb
soo jëlee fi 1 million.
from another bank. If you take 1 million
nga wàccee ko to 900.
and you go to 900,
nga ñëw fii 900.
you came here
ñëw
900.
fii 900.
You came here
ñëw fii
900.
900.
900.
so loolu yëpp moo daan ñaata million.
That is all. How many millions?
nawek si seen boppa ñu ngi fi di ma dégga.
Nawek, they are hearing me.
ñaata million lañ fay nawek.
How many millions we pay to
pour
Nawek?
ñu ñëw taalal ñu courant.
For them to come and connect us the electricity.
taalal ñu ndox.
Give us water.
loolu yëpp benn moto mbalit bi gën a ndaw.
That is for all, a small vehicle.
moto mbalit bi gën a ndaw.
Malick vehicle.
man
The
inherit ma ko
smallest one.
Banjul City
I don't
Council.
inherit it in Banjul City Council.
Now,
lii yëpp dama koo paint.
All this were painted
because historians yi dañ jamono soo buggee xam ëllëg.
because historians see, they say if you want to know tomorrow,
foog nga dellu gannaaw nga seet démba.
you have to check yesterday.
nga xool tey.
Set today,
mu mun laa indi ëllëg naka laa mel.
then you can be able to know exactly
te soo
tomorrow.
gisee may wax lii.
If you see the
let
reason
me
why,
ask you something.
Nena haramu like la affair.
When there is a transition,
Nena jamana bi nga xam ne ñu ngi am transition.
there are always lessons learned.
Nena fofa moom jàng bu bari moo fa xew.
In fact, the most efficient government, be it local or central,
Nena efficient government, da local government wala central government.
cannot be perfect.
Nena do na perfect.
After your term,
Nena sa tam su jeexee.
someone else may come,
Keneen dafa ñëw.
and that person may find something you haven't done right.
Nena te kooku mun na gis leneen li nga xam ne yow
And
doxal la ko
proof
nu
on
waaye.
that.
Nena am nga proof si loolu.
And the cycle goes
Nena te mbir mi noonu la moo demee.
on and on.
On and on.
Where Gambia started
Nena Gambia fu mu dooroon.
in 65,
65.
it's not where we are.
Nena nekkuñu foofu
Right
tey.
now.
Right now tey
You know, I
nekkuñu.
cannot say that.
Nena ndaam du mun a wax loolu.
That is why when you say certain things
Nena loolu tax soo wax leneen.
and I ignore them
mu nga wootal du ko ignore.
and I proceed,
muy proceed continuer.
because while you have latitude to talk about things that may even sound to be
Nena,
political, because you are a political being,
Nena am na place yoo xam ne latitude bi nga xam ne mun nga expliquer lu bëri parce que affaire politique parce que politique ngay def.
you are a mayoress.
Nena
People elect you. You are a mayor. You are a
Nena
mayoress.
yow mayor nga te nit ñi ñoo la tànna.
People elected you,
Nit ñi ñoo la tànna.
and you work for people.
Ne yaa ngi liggéey pour nit
And
ñi.
so, of course, you can discuss your problem.
Nena yow war nga wax sa problème.
Now, if I happen to disagree with you
Nena moom su la naa su
or
nangu si
agree
yow.
with you,
Nanguwul si yow wala
So-
agree yow mu nangu ak
it may
yow.
appear as if you and I are doing the same job.
Nena dafa mel ni yaa ak moom yéen a bokk a
Do
liggéey.
you understand that?
Nena leer na.
And so that's why
Nena lii moo tax.
I always want to limit myself to what obtains.
mu daal di wàññee boppam si loo xam ne lu xew.
Because
lu tax.
you may be my favorite mayor, maybe. Who knows? You may be my favorite mayor
Nena mun na nekk yow yaay mayor bi si mayor yëpp.
or not.
wala déet.
But it would be irrelevant here.
Nena waaye loolu amul benn fayda.
When you took over,
Nena yow bi nga jëlee mbir mi.
you said you did not inherit so many things.
Nena wax nga fe ne am na lu bëri li nga xam ne fekk loo ko fa.
But you inherited the relevant laws and regulations.
Nena waaye doona nga foofu ay loi yi nga xam ne yu war ak ni nga war a yóbbee mbir mi.
The Local Government Act was present,
Nena
and its amendments.
Local Government Act mu fa woon amendments yi ñu fa.
You know there's a Procurement Act and regulation,
Nena xam nga ne Procurement Act and regulations.
Financial and Accounting Manual for Local Government Authorities,
Finance and Accounting Manual from the authorities.
the Finance and Audit Act 2004.
Financial Act yi nga xam ne bu 2004.
These were present.
Nena lii yëpp mu ngi fa woon.
My point is what I'm trying to struggle with most area councils, the administration,
Nena lu mu gën a nekk loo xam ne loolu la day struggle ak area council yu bëri mooy.
is the former didn't do it as far as I am concerned.
Nena ñi nga xam ne ñoo fa nekkoon defuñu ko.
And that is why when we came in, we just followed the same pattern.
Nena lii moo tax ñun tam bu ñu ñëwee ñu daal di toppa seen tànk
Do
yi.
you think that should have been the case?
Nena mbaa foog nga ne lii moo war.
lii council
Lead council.
nekkuma di joxe benn blame game to anybody.
I'm not giving any blame.
I'm just trying to paint the house.
I'm just trying to paint the house.
xam nga da nga ñëw nga indi affaire yi procurement.
Xam nga you came until you talk about procurement.
ma bëgg laa woon ne dina am loo xam ne foog mu dem wrong.
And that is where I assure to you that certain things must go wrong.
Because procurement office was not there.
Because procurement office have never held.
Am na time bu ñoo ñëw ci office bi.
There was a time when we came to office.
So ñëwee laaj ma file A, B and C.
If you come and ask me a file of A, B and C,
Mënuma la ko jox.
I cannot be able to
Because
give
there
it
was
to
no
you.
record office ñun bi ñoo ñëw.
Because it was?
There was no record office.
There was no record office when we
Let
were
me give you an
coming.
example. When were you elected? Democratically?
From which mayor did he took over from? I know, that's why I said that it is
Yes.
because the ways he operates. When I was mayor, I left the council in 2012.
Yes.
2008, I bought 2 brand new funeral vans. Up to today, the council, there is no functional funeral van.
Yes.
So I wanted to be clear, from which mayor did she take over from, with all these inadequacies that she is talking about?
Yes.
It's not just flowing it openly like that.
Yes. We will get that, Honorable Commissioner. We will get that. Just to ask this question, I believe, yes, we will get that. The issue here, what I have is the date. We have the year 2022. When did you become mayor?
Nena kalinga neka mayor
2018.
2018.
And then in 2022, 2023, there were still payments that were made that were not in accordance with the Procurement Act.
Nena soko sete jogo ko 2022 2023 amna fee yo xamne andut ak Procurement Act.
It's about,
Yes.
yes, so that's about 5 years.
Nena lolu soko sete lolu dem fa juromi at ci gannaaw.
So we assume, without even conceding,
Nena ci kaw lolu lu xalaat moy
like I stated earlier,
te mom lu ko mel mu ko waxon ci
and I agree with you,
nena te nangu na ci yow
that when you take over,
nena bi nga jëlé mbir mi
there will be problems.
nena nekk na fa problème bu bari.
There's no perfect system.
amutoon perfect system.
Whenever anyone takes over,
nena ke jamono boo xam ne ku nekk ñëw na ci place
there will be lessons learned
da nga gis ne am na ay place boo xam ne ay téye
to move on.
nga xam ne pour mun a
Is that not the
continuer.
case?
nena mbaa mbir mi du noonu ha yes
After you,
nena sudul yow
if I happen to be mayor,
moom tam su ñëwee mu nekk mayor
I will perhaps say things you haven't done right.
nena moom mun naa foog ne wala foog ne yow def loolu
That
wax
does not mean you haven't done so many things in the right way.
nena de bu fekkee ne moom def loo yoon lu bëri li nga xam ne si yoon boo xam ne foog nga ne loolu mooy
Now,
yoon.
why is it that since 2018, all the way to 2022, 2023, you were still struggling with following procurement?
nena lana mën a tax depuis 2018 2022 ba 2023 yaa ngi struggle si procurement.
Non mooy comme lu ma la wax rek ma ne la.
As I said
dafa
earlier,
génnoon na bon.
it was
soo
bad
seetloo fu ñu starté 2018
where
ba
it started
2023.
2018 till 2023
génnoon naa bon mu ñëw gën a tane. loolu laa doon jéem a explain.
and that was what I was
dama laa woon ne
explaining.
musoon naa gën a bon sax bu baax a baax.
And I was telling you that
Because there was no
it
procurement
was
office.
worst before when there was no procurement.
Yeah, I believe it is time. We will continue.
I have only one question.
All right. Okay. We'll do.
Chairperson.
Yes.
baalal ma rek honorable councillor commissioner wallaay xëj na da nga gis sa bopp si wax bi rek waaye taxuloo ma sax waxuma
No,
la
maa
ngi apologize.
sorry, let me intervene here. Let me intervene. I think we've gone, you are a witness. You have all the rights to say what you want to say, all right? And also the commissioners have a right to clarify issues. So we do not have to back and forth these issues. And we very well understand when you took over, we have the files. We have the files. So what we want to know and what we want to listen from you is all the challenges and all the issues that you have to go through. So we do not have to join issues because as a witness, you have a right to state the things you have found, the challenges you have, the difficulties you have, and to rebut what has been said by witnesses in terms of procedure, in terms of execution, in terms of following due process, and all of that. So what we are trying to find out is what is given as our TOR. So I think we have noted what you have said. We have noted also what the commissioner has tried to put across to verify certain things. All right?
Well, Madam Chair, dama bëgg nga balal ma dama bëggoon a wax rek ne moom commissioner mu ne amuñ dama ko bëgg a wax ne am na ñaari moto yu ees.
Yes.
moto funeral van am na ñaar boo xam ne Banjul elders ñoo ñu jox benn bi.
Yes.
beneen bi family boo xam ne ñoo sant Jaañ.
You see?
ñoo ñu ko jox.
Yes, I understand all of that. But for all of these things that you are saying, these are records that we have. These are records that we have, and they are available to us. For whatever we are asking you here, we have the records and we know. We just want to verify for you to confirm or deny so that we will be able to say, this is how it is. All right? Thank you so much. Can you please proceed to ask the last question before we close for the day, and we will continue tomorrow? Please proceed.
Yes, Chair, I believe we can close now. I believe we can close now till tomorrow.
Is that a convenient point to stop?
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Madam Mayor. We will see tomorrow by 10 o'clock. Thank you so much. We may rise.